And good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Pro Baseball Experience Season 30 Major League World Series. I'm your host, Legally Blind Gamer. Thanks for joining us tonight. Joining me in the first time ever with me on a stream, Cancun Toros co-GM and great friend, Bauer. How's it going, Bauer?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on. I used to stream a little bit with you. I was on a couple
Were
streams.
you? That's a,
Yeah, a few
okay.
seasons back.
A few seasons back. Okay, well, sure. All right. Yeah, I guess it was season 27. You're right. I think it was like
So,
season,
yeah, something like
yeah,
that.
something like that. But welcome aboard. How's it going?
Pretty good. I'm delighted to be here to help get you through the World Series. I think it's going to be a great matchup.
Absolutely. Couple of quick stats for everybody here to get us going. In this World Series so far, or let me rephrase that. In the playoffs so far, Seattle Sea Serpents are 7-1, and the San Antonio Sloths are 7-2. The Serpents were only 4 games back from the Sloths, and the very interesting thing here is that the Sloths beat the Serpents 4-0 in the regular season. So, pretty big rivalry here. It looks like the Sloths do have the advantage as far as regular season goes, but Sea Serpents have been hungry all playoffs long. Any thoughts on how these two teams are going to do tonight?
Um, Honestly, it seems to be a pretty even matchup. Sea Serpents have been the underdog pretty much everywhere they've been, and they've dealt with the competition pretty easily. So it's kind of hard to not side with them. I always love an underdog story. But at the same time, the Sloths are built like a tank this season. So I hope it goes seven. I think it's going to be a good matchup. I don't want to see a sweep here.
Yeah, it went to 6 in the minors, and congratulations to the California Firehawks winning over unfortunately, my Puerto Rico Ranas, 4 games to 2. Great series in that one, but if we can get 6 or 7 out of this one, more exciting for the viewers, more exciting for us. And so, either way, I look forward to see how that goes. I think we had a follow here, CJRV Williams. Thank you so much for following him. Welcome to the PBE. We're doing the Major League World Series tonight, so you come at a great time. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at a couple of the stats here from our stats team before we get started. And while I'm doing that, if we have a mod in the channel, I think Bauer's a mod. You know how to do
Out
the
of the
predictions,
park.
right?
I have never done the predictions.
You've never
No,
done the predictions. All right. Well, we should have a
I
mod
don't want to mess it up.
assigned. We should have a mod assigned here from the mod team for tonight's stream. It looks like for the game one over under, the suggestion here from the stats team is who will win game one. Will it be the Sloths or the Sea Serpents? So if somebody can get a prediction going for that one, I'm going to go ahead and get started here with our team notes at the beginning of the season, or excuse me, the
Out of
series.
the park.
Both San Antonio and Seattle had impressive conference finals to propel them to the World Series. The Sloths convincingly swept a good Voyagers team, and the Sea Serpents had an impressive 4-1 series win against a tough Scorpion squad. In the regular season, San Antonio won all 4 games against the Sea Serpents by an average of 4 runs. This postseason, Seattle has been exceptional with only 1 loss in 8 games. Sea Serpents have yet to lose at home in this playoff run, and considering the opponents they have faced, the Apex and the Scorpions, that is quite the feat. The key to success in the playoffs has been their offense firing on all cylinders, averaging almost 7 runs per game. After struggling against Vancouver in the first round of the playoffs, the Sloths have pulled out 5 straight wins, including their Legends final sweep. While San Antonio has averaged 6 runs per game in the postseason, their playoff team ERA has soared above their season ERA, 5.55 versus a dominant 3.35 in the regular season. And as far as our game one stats here, for our pitchers, we're going to start off with King George III for San Antonio. Had a good regular season, but the playoffs have not been so kind to George. In his playoff career, he has a 7.59 ERA. Although this postseason's ERA is better than the career average, 5.21, it is still a bit off from the 3.47 ERA George had in the regular season. And our featured batter for game one is going to be Acuna Matata for San Antonio. Matata had an excellent regular season and was one of the Sloth's top batters. This postseason, it's more the same, but arguably better. A 1.095 OPS this season, which is business as usual for Matata. In the last 3 postseasons for Matata, he's been north of 1.000 OPS and 300 batting average. Now over to the the other side for Seattle. And for our Seattle Game 1 pitcher, it's going to be Danny Sullivan. Danny Sullivan was one of Seattle's best pitchers this season, and that is carried over to the playoffs. Sullivan boasts an ERA of 2.18 and a WHIP well below 1. This is also Sullivan's first ever time being in the postseason, and he's definitely making the most of it. And for our Game 1 batter for Seattle, it's going to be Anita Fartinghouse. Anita Fartinghouse led the Sea Serpents in average and OBP this past season and had a great season. This postseason has not been quite as productive, but Fartinghouse does have almost as many stolen bases this playoff run as she did the entire regular season, 3 versus 4. So there we go. There is our stats for our Game 1. And we're going to go ahead and take a look now at our matchups. Let me see how we were doing with the prediction here. And it looks like we had a hype train going while I was reading all that. So let me go back here, guys, and take a look and see who all we had donating here. So we had Brainchild subscribing at 18 months. Tier 1 subscription. Thank you so much, Brainchild, and good luck tonight. We also had Ghost Hardware 515 coming in with a couple of Tier 1 gifted subs. And that looks like it. So here we go.
Out of the park.
Oh, and there's another one. AJ coming in with the 5 Tier 1 subs. Thank you so much, AJ. And great stream earlier, by the way. And oh wow, and look at this, a raid from Super Casual Football, now rating us with 6 viewers. Thank you so much, TLK, for coming over to the World Series. We really appreciate you and your viewers joining us tonight. We are just about to get started with Game 1 here, and oh boy, looks like we had a follow here. Condervan is now following. Thank you so much, Condervan, for joining us in this Season 30 World Series. And let's take a look at our predictions. And it looks like here for Game 1, we have 75% for Seattle, San Antonio, 75% for San Antonio, 25% for Seattle. And so we're going to get started here with game number 1 of the Season 30 World Series. Let me just take a look at the Discord chat for the two teams, make sure there is nothing here. And we got some comedians over in the Vandals channel having fun. Let me go ahead and clear that out. There we go. All right, so Game 1, Seattle Sea Serpents, San Antonio Sloss. We have Danny Sullivan versus King George III. And oh boy, we're getting more stuff going on here. Let's see here. Tiger Fan coming in with 5 Tier 1 gifted subs, and we just hit a hype train here. Look like a level 5 hype train. Let's see here. Oh boy. All right, so
really the World Series.
Yeah, level 3 hype train. So thank you so much, everybody, for getting the hype train going here for us for the World Series. And here we go, Game 1, Sea Serpent, Sloss. And the way we're going to do it is I'll take the first 2 innings, last 2 innings, and Bauer will take the ones in between, and we'll alternate, and off we go. Anita Fartinghouse, our first batter up. And let me go ahead and stop the game here real quick, and we're going to go ahead and turn off the B&N scoreboard as our first batter is going to hit right to the shortstop and grounds out. There we go. All right. And our second batter up is going to be Cruz. And Cruz will ground out for out number 2. Kripakosov to the second baseman, and that'll be a 1-2-3 inning as Thad the Thrasher giving us some bit donations. Thank you so much for that. We really appreciate it. And let me clear out something here real quick on my screen. There we go. All right, and now we're over on the San Antonio slide, and Trayvon Knight is going to get us started with the leadoff walk. Jimenez now down the left field line. This could be a double here. Are they going to send the runner home from third? No, they're going to both stay. We have now 2 runners in scoring position for Akuna Matata. Matata down the right field side. This might score 2. They're going to stay. No, runners at the corners, but they do get the RBI there. And now comes Pork Chop Sandwiches. Runners at the corners. No out still. And Pork Chop is going to fly out to left field, and that was too shallow. Runner does not go. Still at the corners here. This one's going to go to the shortstop, and they are going to get the 6-4-3 double play, getting out of that one with only 1 run scored. But San Antonio's up as we move now to the top of the second. Christy Abbott. And a line drive over the head of the center fielder. This might be a triple. No, he cuts off the ball, is able to throw it into the relay. Keeps Christie at a double here. Mellett now to the shortstop. Christie will stay at second, but they get the out at first. 1 out now for Sloss Seiko. Sloth Seiko will strike out swinging, and that takes us to 2 outs now. 2 out, 1 on for Lump O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan will strike out looking, and that will retire the side. We now move to the bottom of the second. Sloth still up by 1, and this one's hit down the left field line. Hard hit ball by Suadat. And here comes Anchovy with a runner in scoring position and no outs. And Anchovy strikes out swinging. That is 1 out now, and that'll bring up Eshelman. Eshelman past the second baseman. This might score a run. Here they come in the throw, and it is not in time, and San Antonio gets another one on the board as Eshelman gets an RBI single. 1 on, 1 out now. And they'll get a walk here for a sneaky snack. Top of the order again, Trevon Knight with 2 on, 1 out. Knight to the second baseman. And no play. That's going to be an infield single. Juices our base now for San Antonio. And this one's hit hard towards left field. That one will be caught. The runner tags coming home. And they're going to be safe. We now have runners at the corners. 2 outs. And hot hitter Akuna Matata is coming up with the Sloths already up by 3. And Matata will be walked here. Oh boy. Here we go. Juices based again. Pork chop sandwiches to the third baseman. They get the runner at second. And that is going... No! That was an error by the shortstop, and the runner comes home to score, and San Antonio gets another on the board, and this will be a fly out here to the first base, and that will retire the side, but costly error puts San Antonio up by 4. Top of the third we go now with Bauer.
Top of the third indeed, and Seattle finding it to be difficult here in this World Series early, as we're going to be Crocs out leading it off here. He's going to ground out to the second baseman to start it off. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter of Campbell. He's going to ground out to the shortstop. Tough play there, almost beats it out, and that is going to be the second out of the inning. Leadoff hitter Anita Fartinghouse is up next. They are going to take a walk, so 2 out, 1 on for Cruz, the center fielder. Fartinghouse is on the move, and they're going to get a steal there. So runner on scoring position now for Seattle, as Cruz is going to hit one up the middle, and that could score the runner, and it will. So that stolen base coming in clutch there. Seattle getting on the board here in the top of the third. So still 2 out, another 1 on, and another runner on the move. Cruz, and this time they're going to get thrown out. So that is going to end the inning. So Seattle does strike and get their first run of the game, but it could have been a little bit more as we move on to the Sloth side. Sudat is going to hit one to left field for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Anchovy, the right fielder. Anchovy's going to hit one in the right center gap, and that's going to be a double, possibly a triple. And yes, it is going to be a triple. Speedy Anchovy on the bases. DH Eshelman is up next with the runner on third. Going to be a ground out to the third baseman. That is going to get another run home for San Antonio. So it is a 5-1 ball game now. Nikki Sneck is going to ground out to the second baseman and bring an end to this inning. But while Seattle does bring in 1, so does San Antonio. We move on to the top of the fourth here. Kripakrasov is going to hit one to the center fielder, and that's going to be a leadoff hit for Christoph, and it's going to be a double. Number 4 hitter here, Christy Abbott, going to look to get that runner in, and they are going to strike out. So 1 on, 1 out. Malat is going to hit one and ground out, but it will move over the runner to third. So just a little fly ball to right field, and that is going to leave the runner stranded on third base. So again, getting runners on base, but cannot make anything happen there. Trevin Knight is going to lead it off here for the Sloths. Deep fly ball to center field, and it's going to be caught for the first out. Jimenez up next. Jimenez is going to hit one to right field. It's going to be a diving catch by the right fielder. Very nice play to possibly save a double there. Matata is up next, and it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning here for the Sloths. So coming up a little short here. O'Sullivan is going to lead it off for the Sea Serpents. They're going to hit one in the center field. Pretty easy play for the center fielder there. Crocs out the DH up next, and they are going to hit one to third base. Pretty easy play for the third baseman. 2 outs here for the Sea Serpents, and that'll bring up Campbell, and they're going to ground out to the third baseman. Tough play, almost beats it out, but back-to-back 1-2-3 innings here for Sloths and Sea Serpents. Down to the bottom half of the fifth, we got pork chop sandwiches. The second baseman is going to hit one to right field, right down the line, and that is gone. The Sloths adding another run here to lead off the bottom of the fifth, a 421-foot shot to make it a 6-1 ball game.
Right as Perry Hodder came in relief.
No, that is not what you want to do in the playoffs. Bobby McDonald is going to see what he can do after that, and he's going to strike out. So 1 out here. Catcher Sudat is up next. They are also going to strike out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Hodder after giving up that dinger. Anchovy up next. Anchovy is going to take a walk, so possibly some more life here for the Sloths with 2 outs. Eshelman is going to hit one in between the third baseman and shortstop, and that's going to be a single. So runners on first and second here, 2 outs. Sneaky Sneck is going to hit one into left field, and that is going to be the 3rd out of the inning. So the Sloths do get another run. Could have been more. Anita Fartinghouse, the right fielder, up next. They're going to hit one to center field to bring the 1st out of the inning for the Sea Serpents. Santana Cruz is going to ground out to the shortstop for the 2nd out of the inning. Kristov Krasov is going to get hit. All right, so that's going to get a runner on first base there for the Sea Serpents. Christy Abbott up next. They're going to hit one to center field, and that is not going to be caught. That is going to get down. They're going to send the runner. And the Sea Serpents are actually going to get another run across here to make it a 6-2 ball game, and they still have a runner on second base. So 1 on, 2 out, and that's going to be a ground out to the first baseman. So Sea Serpents still trying to chip away a little bit, but Sea Serpents pitching needs to get things going here. That's a good way to start it out. Knight is going to strike out. Jimenez is going to hit one to left field, and that is going to be gone. A 412-foot bomb for Jimenez to make it a 7-2 ball game here. Starting to get out of reach for the Sea Serpents. So still only 1 out. Matata up next, and they are going to strike out. That'll be the 2nd out of the inning. Pork Chop Sandwich is going to hit one to right field, and that's gone. The 2nd home run of the inning. 449 feet to make it an 8-2 ball game for Pork Chop Sandwiches.
Out of the park.
As San Antonio is looking to just take this series by the reins right from the beginning. Bobby McDonald, the left fielder, up next. They are going to hit a little pop fly to second base, and they're going to drop it. It looked to be an easy play, but that's a fumble bumble, I guess. And Sudat is going to hit one to the second baseman. And they are going to get the out. So yet another couple runs there on big dingers for San Antonio as we go back to the top of the 7th. Sloth Seiko is going to lead it off here for the Sea Serpents. They're going to ground out to the third baseman. 1st out of the inning. Really got to get something going here for Seattle. O'Sullivan is going to strike out for the 2nd out. Crocs out is also going to strike out. So a 1-2-3 inning here for the Sea Serpents as they only have 6 outs remaining on offense. San Antonio looking to see what they can do here as Anchovy's going to hit one up the middle for a leadoff single. Anchovy does have speed, so look out. Eshelman is going to hit one high to the shortstop. Pretty easy play there. 1 on, 1 out, and that'll bring up number 9, Sneaky Sneck, as Chovy's on the move, and that's going to be a stolen base. Now you have a runner in scoring position with only 1. Sneaky Sneck is going to hit one to left field. That is not going to be enough to get the runner over to third. Leadoff man Trevon Knight is going to strike out, so that is going to end the bottom of the 7th and my reign on this game.
All right, well, here we go. Top of the 8th. Seattle needs 6 here. Bottom of their lineup, Campbell. Campbell will strike out. Here we go, Anita Fartinghouse, our featured batter for game 1. And Anita will strike out looking as well. And here we go, Santana Cruz, 2 outs down. Santana to the second baseman in a 1-2-3 inning. And just like that, Todoroki gets San Antonio out of that half inning. Seattle only has 3 more outs here. As San Antonio trying to pad their lead, bottom of the 8th. Already up by 6. They had that great 3-run rally in the 2nd inning, and they've just been on a tear ever since. And we'll get a walk here. Pork Chop Sandwiches will get on with 2 outs. And Bobby McDonald Jr. McDonald Jr. strike out, leaving the runner stranded. Top of the 9th we go. Here we go. Kripokrasov, Abbott, and Mellet. And Christoph leading us off here, striking out, looking. Oh boy, down to 2 outs. Christy Abbott. And this will be a flyout in the infield. Third baseman has that one. Last one, hot hitter Mellet. Mellet, line drive towards center field, and that'll do it as the San Antonio Sloths are going to win game 1 of this World Series with a score of 8-2 over the Seattle Sea Serpents. Taking a look at our batting here for Seattle, only single hit games here except for Christy Abbott, who had 2 hits and an RBI. Over on the San Antonio side, 2 hits, 2 RBIs for Jimenez, 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 RBIs for Pork Chop Sandwiches, 2 hits for Anchovy, and 2 hits and 2 RBIs for Eshelman. On the pitching side for Seattle, Danny Sullivan taking their first loss of the postseason. An over for San Antonio. King George III. Hope you're here, John Stradamus. You got a win here, and San Antonio is able to prevail. That's your second one of the postseason, with Todoroki getting their first postseason save. Player of the game is Pork Chop Sandwiches. Sandwiches again with the 2 runs, 2 hits, and 2 RBIs. All right, so there we go. Game number 1. Let me go ahead and do a file save here, and we'll move on to our next sim day. Just do another save here to be sure. Now I'm going to go ahead and check in with the GMs of both teams, see if they have any updates for game number 2. And I see something here from the Sloss. Just check if Greer is starting. Sure, no problem. We can do that. Let's take a look here. San Antonio pitching. And yes, Greer is your number 2 starting pitcher, all set to go. And it looks like other than that, Sloss are locked in. We'll go ahead and check with the Sea Serpents here, see if they have any changes. And I see C Does It type in something here. And wow, Bauer, what a game! San Antonio putting on an offensive performance here. Seattle, they've pretty much been a really offensive team over there in the Champions side, but the Sloths have been able to really turn it around here and just put on a great performance. They haven't really gotten anything high as far as the RBIs, but they've had multiple innings where they would score a couple each, and really proved to be the difference here. What were your thoughts on game number 1?
Oh yeah, I mean the Sea Serpents, they had a lot of opportunities to get runners in and just didn't seem to capitalize, well as the Sloths were just able to capitalize on all that, and then they had those few big home runs at the end of the game there. And yeah, like you said, not a lot of big innings, but a lot of one run innings, 2 run innings, and those start to add up.
Yeah, looks like Seattle Sea Serpents have a change here to their pitching. Let me just go ahead and take a look at that real quick. And none, normal, none. All right, so we'll do none, normal, and
Colby made a good point there. That did hurt Seattle's bullpen.
yeah, they had what, 3 relievers in that one? 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, so um, gonna have to really try and hope their starting pitcher here, Lucky El Charo, can hold on to game number 2. All right, so it looks like we are set here for both. Oh, I see something here for the Sloss new. All right, so Sloss and Sea Serpents are now locked in for game number 2. So let's go ahead and go over our info for our second game. And the over-under I have on game number 2 for our mods here is 12.5 runs scored over under. So 12.5 runs scored over under for game 2. If somebody can add that for our predictions, while I go ahead and read the game 2 stats here. And we'll go ahead and start off this time with Seattle. And our Seattle game 2 pitcher is Lucky El Charo. Lucky El Charo was a nearly end of season acquisition for Seattle and has not quite found his sea serpent legs. Sea serpent legs. El Charo had an ERA above 6 for his 7 regular season starts in Seattle, and this postseason has allowed 4 earned runs in back-to-back starts, not getting past the 5th inning. And our featured batter for game number 2 for Seattle is catcher Krzysztof Krapakosov. Krapakosov broke out in a big way in his 3rd season as a Sea Serpent. Seattle's leading home run hitter hasn't quite had the same pop of the bat this postseason, with only a 661 OPS and just 1 home run in 33 at-bats. Now for the San Antonio side for pitching. Let's see here. Longtime sloth Billy Greer is exceptional when it comes to playoff baseball. A 3.76 ERA and 14 starts over his career, and this playoff has been better yet. Greer has translated an excellent regular season into an even better postseason. 2.70 ERA and only 13 hits allowed in 20 innings of work. And our featured batter for game number 2 for San Antonio is Bobby McDonald Jr. McDonald Jr. is one of San Antonio's top sluggers, 25 home runs on the season, with McDonald also has a couple of home runs this postseason. However, the batting average is well below the Mendoza line. So there we go. There is our info for our Game 2 starters and featured batters. Let me go ahead and take a look at our over-under here. And all right, so over-under, it looks like it's still open. I don't see a... Oh, there we go. Time is almost over. Make sure you get your bet in here for the over-under. 12.5 runs scored total. And it looks like under of 7.4K channel points, 81%, versus overs 19% at the over. So we're going to go ahead and just make sure, since we did do a change here with the setup, we'll do a file save here. And we'll get started with game number 2. Lucky El Charo versus Billy Greer, and Bauer's going to start us off with Anita Fartinghouse to start off the first inning for Seattle.
Alrighty, game 2 here. Seattle Sea Serpents looking to fight back after losing game 1, and Anita Fartinghouse is going to lead off the game with a ground out to third base. Santana Cruz is going to hit a fly ball to left field for the second out of the inning. Kraprokosov is going to ground out to the shortstop, so it's going to be a quick 1-2-3 inning here for the Sea Serpents. Heading to the bottom of the first, Trevon Knight is going to get hit with the baseball. That is one way to get on base to lead off the first half of the inning. Jimenez is going to hit one into the right center gap, and that's going to be caught by the right fielder for the first out. So 1 on, 1 out. That'll bring up Acuna Matata. They're going to, looks like a bunt, and they're going to get on. So 2 on, 1 out, first and second, and both runners on the move. It's going to be a double steal, and they are both safe. So both runners in scoring position. Pork Chop Sandwich is going to strike out for the second out. Bobby McDonald up now, and he's going to ground out to the third baseman. So 2 runners in scoring position, and the Sloths cannot capitalize. Heading to the top half of the first there, Abbott is going to lead off with a ground out to the second baseman. The second baseman for the Sea Serpents, is going to hit one to the shortstop for the second out of the inning. Sloth Seiko up next for Seattle, and he's going to hit one into left field. It's deep, but it's going to be caught just in front of the warning track by McDonald Jr. Sudat is going to lead it off here for the Sloths, and that's going to be a diving, I guess, not catch. That's going to be his single to lead off the inning, and then there's going to be a wild pitch, and Sudat is going to get all the way to second here with no outs. Anchovy to left field, and that's going to be gone. Anchovy with the 49 power, hitting it 425 feet to send the Sloths up 2-0 here in game 2. Eshelman is going to see what he can do after that, and he's going to hit one to the left center gap. That's deep, and it's going to be not deep enough, right in front of the warning track. Sneaky Sneck up next. He's going to hit one right into left field, right in front of the left fielder for a single. So 1 on, 1 out. Trevon Knight going to ground out to the second baseman. They're going to turn that double play, but not before the Sloths strike first here in game 2, and we bring you LBG.
Top of the third we go. Seattle down by 2. Need to get something going here. Bottom third of their lineup. And that is a line out right to the first baseman for Lumpo Sullivan. Crocs out will strike out. And now Campbell, 2 outs. And Campbell will take a walk, and that'll take us back to the top of the lineup. Anita Fartinghouse, 1 on, 2 outs. Anita, a tapper to the pitcher, and gets to play it first, and that'll retire the side. Bottom of the third we go. San Antonio up by 2, near the top of their lineup here. And this is a towering shot towards left field, but that will be a fly out. Jimenez is out number 1. Matata through the gap on the right side, and Acuna Matata will be on with a single. 1 on, 1 out here. Line drive right towards the left fielder. And what a catch, getting Pork Chop Sandwiches out. Wow. Lumpo Sullivan with the play there. This one's hit to the first baseman, goes over the pitcher, gets the out, leaves the runner stranded. And we'll now move to the top of the 4th. Seattle still down by 2. Santana Cruz to the second baseman, and that'll be a ground out. Kraprokosov. This will be a fly out here towards right field, and that'll be out number 2. Christy Abbott strikes out in a 1-2-3 inning. And Billy Greer able to hold on here with no hits so far through 3 innings for Seattle. And this one's going to be a fly out towards center field, out number 1. That'll bring up Anchovy. Anchovy, who had a great game earlier, and that looks like a fumble bumble there. No, it was just a really hard hit ball, so sorry about the false fumble bumble. as they get the 6-4-3 double play, and Seattle gets out of that inning. Top of the 5th we go now. Seattle needs to get something going here. Been down just about this whole series so far, as that is a flyout for Mellett. And this will be an infield flyout here for Slaseco, and now finally Lumpo Sullivan with 2 outs. The strikeout looking, and Billy Greer. Man, Billy has been on fire here for San Antonio. Still no hits at all for Seattle through 5. We'll get a leadoff strikeout for Sneaky Snack. Top of the order now again, Trevon Knight for San Antonio. Knight into the gap on the left side, and Knight's going to get a double with 1 out, and that'll bring up Jimenez. And that's over the second baseman's head. Runner might turn to score here. No, they're going to keep the runner. Runners at the bases for Matata. 1 out. Matata, this will be caught in foul territory. Out number 2. Pork Chop Sandwiches, who had the great hit earlier. Pork Chop. And this is going to be a fly out to center field. Leaves 2 runners stranded. Halfway through the game now. Still 2-0 San Antonio. And the top of the 6th inning, Seattle is up. And Croxout gets his leadoff strikeout as Ghost Hardware comes in with another Tier 1 gifted sub for Solid Snake. Thank you so much, Ghost Hardware. And we're down to 2 outs now for Seattle. And towering shot towards right field. This is going, and this is out of here. Anita Fartinghouse with a single run blast. And that's going to put Seattle on the board finally. And it is now just a 2-1 game. So even though San Antonio got those runs earlier, Seattle able to have that total all the way through here, as we're going to get a strikeout from Cruz, and that will retire the side. But Seattle gets 1 on the board. Bottom of the 6th we go now. San Antonio only up by 1, as we'll get a line drive out number 1 for McDonald. Sudot now, and that's over the center fielder's head. Sudot could go for 3 here. No, they're going to stay at 2. A stand-up double. Anchovy will get a strikeout, and now we have 1 on, 2 out for Eshelman. Runner in scoring position. Eshelman to the shortstop, and that'll retire the side. Here we go, top of the 7th. Down by 1, Seattle. The meat of their lineup here, Prokosov is up first. And oh my goodness, what a hard hit ball to that shortstop. Was not able to hold on to it. It will not be counted as an error. Just a really hard hit single as Abbott strikes out. Runner at first now, 1 out for Mellon. Mellon striking out, 2 outs now. Slaseco coming up. Slaseco hit back to the pitcher, gets the out at first, and that will retire the side. Stretch time now for San Antonio. Up by 1. Can they pad their lead here? We'll get a pitching change as Jackson DeMarco comes in for Seattle. This one hit to the third baseman, and they bobbled that ball. That will be a fumble bumble. Our first error of the game. And we'll get a strikeout here. Strikeout number 2 as Jimenez goes down as well. Hot hitter Matata. Runner at first, and this one's at the gap, and this could score a run. This one is behind the center fielder, and here comes the runner, and the relay is not in time. As San Antonio puts another one up on the board, now leads 3-1. 2 outs. Pork Chop Sandwiches, runner in scoring position, and Pork Chop's going to strike out. But Seattle up by 2 now. Top of the 8th we go with Bauer.
Still a very close game here with 6 outs to play for the Sea Serpents. So Sullivan is going to lead it off here. Number 7 hitter going to strike out for the first out of the top half of the 8th. DH Croxout is going to be your next hitter up. Croxout is going to hit one to the shortstop for the second out of the inning. Number 9 hitter Campbell, the shortstop, is up next, and they are going to strike out. So now only 3 outs to play with for Seattle. Going to the bottom half of the 8th here, San Antonio going to look to get some insurance on the board. McDonald, the cold hitter, is going to strike out to lead it off. Sudot, the catcher, can hit one into right field. It looks to be a deep ball, but it's going to be caught on the warning track for the second out of the inning. Anchovy up next. Anchovy's going to hit one to the first baseman. That's going to be a fairly easy play. PFP, and we head to the top of the 9th here. Last chance for the Sea Serpents. Anita Fartinghouse is going to lead it off, and that is going to be a little pop fly to the shortstop for the first out of the inning. 2 outs for Seattle. Cruz is going to hit one to the second baseman for the second out of the inning. Last chance here. Krapakosov is going to hit one to left field, and that is going to be the third out of the inning and the second win in the series for San Antonio. A 3-1 ball game here in game 2. All right, looking at Seattle here, just the 2 hits from Fartinghouse and Krapokosov. Really good game there on San Antonio from Matata getting 3 hits, 1 RBI. A couple of hits there for Sudat and Chovy. Lucky El Charles is going to get the loss, going 6 innings, 9 hits, 2 earned. Greer is going to get the W, 6 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned. Very good playoff performance there. Rodriguez Jr. going to get the save, and your player of the game is Billy Greer.
All right, and we're going to go ahead and move on to our next game. In fact, let's just file save here real quick. There we go. And now we move forward today, which is an off day, and now we're going to be heading to Seattle for games 3 through 5. And it looks like the matchup in this one is going to be Glenn Davies versus Straight Gas Homie. So let me go ahead and check the Discord here, see if we have any updates for our teams for game number 3. And I got a message. Oh, Hummus is saying I'm down a little low. So let me turn myself up here. Give me just a second. There we go. Hopefully that's a little bit better. All right, and so let me go ahead and check for the teams here. We have something from the Sloss, and Sloss are saying they are good for game number 3. Let me go ahead and take a look down here at the Serpents. And changes for game number 3. All right, so they want to change for their Booze Gooser again. And so we'll go ahead and change Booze Gooser to middle, normal, high leverage.
Both teams being pretty easy on the changes.
Right?
In the past, we've seen like, oh yeah, switch up the entire lineup,
Oh my
switch up all
god.
my pitching.
Oh my god. There was one season, I think it was Rabbit Sponge with the Vandals, where it was like, if this certain condition occurs and we lose game 3, switch this one. If we win game 3, do this other way. It's like, oh my goodness. All right, let's see. He said middle, normal, and high leverage. There you go. See, does it? Anything else I can get for the Sea Serpents? As we check in with the Sloss, and Sloss said they are good, so we're just waiting on Seattle for game 3. All right, so I guess you're locked in. C does it? Is that correct? You're all set?
Pretty good.
All right. So let's go ahead and do a file save. And now our over-under for game number 3. Let's go ahead and take a look here. And for our mod team, if you could do total unearned runs of 0.5. So total unearned runs of 0.5 over-under. Are they gonna? Is nobody gonna score an unearned run, or is there gonna be at least one unearned run? So that's going to be our prediction for game number 3. Let's go ahead and take a look now at our pitcher for game number 3, and this time we'll do Seattle first. And speedster Trevin Knight, oh, that was their batter, excuse me. Arguably the Legends pitcher of the year, Glenn Davies, had an amazing regular season. The postseason has not been quite what Davies has hoped for, nearly a 7 ERA, and has a whip approaching 2. As for their batter, it's going to be speedster Trevin Knight. Took a bit of a step back in the regular season batting wise compared to the previous season, but nearly doubled the stolen bases total. This postseason, Knight has been absolutely on fire with a batting average above 400 and 6 stolen bases. Looking down now at Seattle's game 3 pitcher is going to be Straight Gas Homie. Straight Gas Homie had an absolute breakout season this year, just over a 3 ERA and nearly averaging a strikeout per inning during the regular season. That has translated to the playoffs. And in Homie's first Majors postseason run, he had an impressive first start with no runs allowed and then followed it up with a 4-run outing. Going up here to our batter for Seattle game number 3, it's going to be Seattle isn't much for swarming the base paths, but Davis Campbell can swipe a few bases. Campbell has 3 stolen bases in 8 games, but his OPS is quite low at 572 compared to Campbell's 779 this past regular season. So there we go. There's our stats for game number 3. Let's go ahead and take a look now at our predictions, see how those are doing. And the over-under, wow, 59% say under, 41% say over, and so it looks like right now that the unders are going to be, unless we have 15 more seconds. If somebody wants to get in a prediction here for this over-under, please take your time and do so now. But we're going to take a second and talk about game number 2. Bauer, San Antonio taking the lead here, now up 2-0. But we do move back to Seattle, and so if there was a time for Seattle to turn this around, it's going to be now. What are your thoughts on game 3 moving forward?
Obviously, out of the park, there's a pretty large home field advantage, I would say. So it's not so much of a surprise that San Antonio took the first couple of games. Now moving on to Seattle, I think they'll surprise us here, going back to their home stadium.
All right, well, I've updated the top bar. There we go. We'll go ahead and move that over. And we are set now for game number 3. San Antonio up 2-0, and we'll go ahead and pull up our matchups and take a look and see if there's any changes with that. Davies versus Homey. Here we go. Our matchups here, and we have 5 for San Antonio, 3 for Seattle, and a tie. But Seattle has the lead here with Homey in the pitching. So, Sloss had the advantage batting, Seattle the advantage pitching. And because we did make a change, let me go ahead and do another file save here real quick. And we're going to get started with game number 3, playing in Seattle. Oh, I need to check one thing here real quick. I just realized that I updated the ballpark or the file. I just want to make sure it did have T-Mobile. Okay, so we are set with the correct ballpark there. Excellent. All right, game number 3, and this time it's going to be Trayvon Knight is going to be our leadoff batter for San Antonio. Take one last look here, make sure we do not have any last-second stuff in either team. Nope, they are good to go, and game number 3, we are off. Trayvon Knight is our leadoff batter here, and we're going to switch this view here real quick, as that is hit right to the second baseman. And we're going to do, there we go, that's much better. There we go, now we can see more of everything. All right, as we'll get a walk here from Jimenez, and that'll bring up Matata. 1 on, 1 out as Matata strikes out, and that is out number 2. Pork chop sandwiches. Pork chop striking out as well, leaving the runner stranded. Bottom of the first we go now. Seattle coming up. Fartinghouse leading us off here. Hits to the shortstop, and they're going to make the play. Ground out for out number 1. Another play right to the shortstop for out number 2 for Cruz. And now Kripakosov. Kripakosov towards the right side, and that is out of here with a single run blast. And Seattle finally in this World Series takes the lead in this game 3
out of the park
1-0 and in the series as well. And this one's going to be a fly out to center field, and Abbott is out, but that home run from Kripakosov puts Seattle up. Top of the second we go now for San Antonio. San Antonio to the shortstop, and a leadoff out here for McDonald. Suadat now. Suadat striking out looking. And here comes Anchovy. And Anchovy will take a walk. And that's the first walk here for Homey so far. And a strikeout from Eshelman, and that will retire the side. Straight gas Homey able to get out of that one. Seattle still has no hits. As we now move to the bottom of the second, and this one's going to be in straight center field. Oh my goodness, what a hit there from Mellett, and that will be a single run blast. And just like that, Seattle
out of the
one
park
run in the second inning, and now leads 2-0. This one right to the first baseman, unable to make the play, and that's going to be a fumble bumble.
Fumble bumble.
As we get a strikeout from O'Sullivan, and we now have 1 on, 1 out. This one's going towards the left side, and that one's out of here. A 2-run blast from Rocks out with your Crocs out. And it is now
out
4-0 Seattle. And this was the spark Seattle needed. A good multi-run inning here early. And this one's going to be over the center fielder's head. And we're going to have a double here from number 9 hitter Campbell. And Campbell coming up big here for Seattle as we now move to the top of the lineup. And, whoa, they beat out the throw, and Fartinghouse gets on first. Runners at the corners. And this one's going to drop in front of the left fielder. That's going to score 1. And that's going to be a hit for Santana Cruz. Runners at the corner, still 1 out. 5-0 now as a check swing. Juices based. Kropakosov did with the check swing. Christy Abbott towards deep center field. Christy Abbott, grand slam, home run. 8-run inning for Seattle. Oh my goodness,
Out
and
of
it
the
is now
park.
9-0 Seattle. Oh my goodness, Seattle putting on an offense. And of course, a pitching change now as Todoroki comes in for San Antonio. As we'll get a walk here, and still there's some damage to be done with only 1 out. Slaseko, that'll drop for a base hit. Seattle is not done yet. This one hit to the and they got the 4, the 6, and the 3. Finally getting the double play, getting out of that one. But Seattle gets 8 in that inning. Now leads 9-0. Here we go, top of the 3rd with Bauer.
Said Seattle was going to fight back big, but I was not expecting that, as Sneck is going to ground out to the, I guess not ground out. The pitcher could not make the play, and that's going to be a leadoff single. Knight, I guess Sneaky Sneck got picked off at first.
Wow.
And then Trayvon Knight is going to strike out, so 2 outs here already for the Sloths. Haven't seen a pickoff in a while. Jimenez is going to take a walk to get a runner on here with 2 outs. Hot hitter Matata up next, and that is going to be a wild pitch, and that'll move Jimenez over to second base. Scoring position there for Matata, and they're going to hit a pop fly to the second baseman. So San Antonio finally getting a hit here, but still scoreless. Crocs out is going to hit another home run here to lead off the bottom half of the 3rd. A 10-0 ball game, 417 feet.
Out of the park.
That is the 2nd home run of the game for Rock Out with your Crocs out. That's
Wow.
Whew. Davis Campbell, the shortstop, is going to hit one to the other team's shortstop for the 1st out of the inning. Anita Fartinghouse is going to hit one in the right center gap, and that's also gone. 424 feet. 11-0 ball game as
Out
it's
of
just
the park.
raining dingers in Seattle. I have no words for this. This is crazy. Santana Cruz is going to ground out to the shortstop for the 2nd out of the inning. Kropakosov is going to strike out, and that'll be the 3rd out of the inning.
Whoa.
But Seattle knocking on another 2 home runs here to make it 11-0. Pork chop sandwiches just trying to get back into this ball game, and that is not how you want to do it. 1st out of the inning with a strikeout. McDonald's going to hit one to left field, and that is going to get San Antonio on the board here. 395 feet, 11-1. Seems
Out
like a
of the
stretch,
park.
but, just start chipping away. You never know what could happen. Sudot is up next. Sudot is going to take a strikeout for the 2nd out of the inning. That'll bring up Anchovy. Anchovy with the big home run in the previous game is they're going to get one past the first baseman for a single here. Possibly more life here with 2 outs. Eshelman, as Chovy takes off for a second, there's not even going to be a throw. Very easy stolen base for Chovy. Eshelman's still up to the plate, and they are going to strike out. So San Antonio finally getting a run on the board. Here comes the Sea Serpents again, as that's going to be a high fly ball into right center. That is going to be the 1st out of the inning. Malat is up next. Malat is going to hit one to the shortstop. Tough play, but it's going to be the 2nd out of the inning. Jose Slaseko, the 3rd baseman, is going to hit one to the 2nd baseman, and finally, a scoreless inning for the Serpents.
Jeez.
Lost bullpen is better get things going here. As Sneaky Sneck is going to hit one to the 2nd baseman for the 1st out of the inning. Trayvon Knight is going to be the 2nd batter up. They're going to hit one to the pitcher, and that was a very close play, but that's going to be the 2nd out of the inning. Jimenez is going to hit one to the center fielder, and that is going to be a 1-2-3 inning as well for the Sloths. A couple of boring half innings there. O'Sullivan is going to hit one up the middle for a leadoff single for Seattle. So Crocs out already with the 2 home runs. What can they do here? They're going to hit a fly ball to the 3rd baseman. That will not move the runner over. Campbell is going to hit one to the shortstop. They will not turn the double play, however. So a runner on first, still 2 outs. Fartinghouse is going to strike out, and the Sloss bullpen starting to lock things down, though I fear it may be a little too late with them already having 11 on the board.
Right.
Matata is going to lead it off here for the Sloss. That's going to be a fly ball to the center fielder, and that is going to be the first out. Pork chop sandwiches up next. They're going to strike out. Left fielder McDonald, number 5 hitter, up next. And McDonald's going to hit one to the shortstop, and that is going to be the 3rd out. So back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings here for the Sloths. Their offense run dry here in Game 3. Santana Cruz is going to hit one to the left fielder, and that's going to be a diving catch. Very nice play there. Krapokosov is going to hit one to the shortstop. Second baseman thinks about stealing it, but does not get in the way. Christy Abbott is going to strike out, so a 1, 2, 3 inning as well. Here we go to the top half of the 7th. Sudat is going to hit one right in front of the right fielder for a leadoff single. Anchovy up next. Anchovy's going to strike out, so 1 on, 1 out. I'll bring up the DH, Eshelman. Eshelman is also going to strike out. We'll bring up Sneaky Snack. Already batting .390, and that's going to be right over the shortstop head for a hit. So runners on first and second now. Trayvon Knight is going to strike out, and that is going to leave those runners on base. So 5 hits for San Antonio, but only 1 run to show for it. Meanwhile, the Sea Serpents 11 hits, 11 runs. Adam Malott is going to hit one to the shortstop, and he's going to beat it out. So that's going to be an infield single. Jose Sloss Seco is going to erase that though with the 4-6-1 or 4-6-3 double play. O'Sullivan is going to strike out, and that is going to end the bottom half of the 7th, and we will send it back to LBG to end it off.
And here we go. San Antonio down by 10. Need to get something going here, and that's a great way to start it as Jimenez gets a leadoff single up the right side. Akuna Matata through the gap in center, and now we have runners at first and second, no outs. Pork chop sandwiches. Can he do some damage? No, they're going to get a strikeout here. 1 out for Bobby McDonald Jr. with 2 on. McDonald Jr. striking out, and now Suadat hit hard towards the left field side, but caught right before the warning track, and that'll retire the sides. San Antonio down to 3 outs remaining here. Seattle already padded their lead by 10. Can they make it more? As we'll get a leadoff walk here from Croxout, who had the grand slam earlier, and oh boy, down the left field line. That's going to put runners at the corner, or runners at, what is that? Yeah, second and third. 2 runners in scoring position. Juice is based here for Santana Cruz. No outs. Could this be another big rally? And we'll get a strikeout for Cruz, and that'll bring up Krapokosov, who had a home run earlier as well. Krapokosov striking out. Still a chance here for a grand slam as Christy Abbott coming up to bat. Check swing, and they'll bring the walk home. And that makes the score now 12-1. Hot hitter Mellett. Juice is based. 2 outs. Here we go. Mellett down the right field line. This could score 2 here. 1 run coming home, 2 runs coming home, 3 runs coming home. And oh boy, a 3 RBI double from Mellett. And that makes the score now 15-1 as San Antonio eats through another relief pitcher as Nolan Windsor comes in now. Runners at the corner, still 2 outs. Hard hit ball over the center fielder's head. That's going to score 1. Second runner coming home. And that's going to be a 2 RBI double from O'Sullivan. It is now 17-1 Seattle. And we're going to walk here. And even with 2 outs, Seattle is just putting on a display. As that one's through the gap. Runner coming home. And that's going to put runners at the corners with an RBI single from Campbell. Top of the order again, Anita Fartinghouse. 2 on, 2 out. Anita going to center field, and that one is caught by the shortstop in the outfield. That will retire the side. 7 more runs put on the board by Seattle. 18-1. 17 runs. I've never seen a rally this much, but that's going to be the way to start it right there. As Anchovy gets a single run
Out
shot,
of the park,
and it makes it 18-2. All right, we just need 16 more of these. Eshelman, you're up. Eshelman to the second baseman. And oh boy, 1 out. Sneaky Snack, we need 1 from you. Sneaky's next, striking out. Last chance here. Top of the order, Trayvon Knight. Only needs 16. Trayvon to the second baseman. And, oh boy, that's a pass ball as the runner, as we'll get a
Fumble,
here.
bumble.
Runner moving to second. Another pass ball. Wait, that was a strike? Oh. That was a called third strike, but wow. All right, as that's going to do it, as Seattle, in convincing fashion here, winning game number 3 with a score of 18-2, 16 hits to 8, 3 errors total between both teams. Taking a look at San Antonio batting, we do have their home run from McDonald Jr., 2 hits and an RBI from Anchovy, and 2 hits from Sneaky Snack. Let me catch my breath here for the other side. Here we go. All the hitters got a hit. Several multi-hit games here, but we're going to take a look at the best couple, and that's going to be Christy Abbott, 2 runs, 1 hit, 5 RBIs. Mellett, 2 runs, 3 hits, 4 RBIs. And Rocks Out with your Crocs Out, 3 runs, 2 hits, 3 RBIs, and 2 walks. Seattle getting it done offensively. Looking at San Antonio batting, Davies taking 8 earned runs here, and it looks like we have a unearned run there for the over, I believe. I'm not sure if that's been paid out yet, but Davies taking their first loss of the postseason. Over on Seattle side, in straight gas homie, no decision. Perry Hodder in relief, who gave up the home run in the earlier game, gets the win here in Game 3, first of the postseason, and Rocked Out with your Crocs Out is your player of the game. So many different great performances, but that one was the best according to the AI. So there we go. Game number 3 is now in the books. 2-1 San Antonio lead. We're going to move on to Game 4, game day here, and we'll do another file save, and now we're going to check in with our GMs, see what changes they have for game number 4.
I've never seen a playoff game that one-sided. That was insane.
Right? Especially in the World Series. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen a few games where it's been like 12-4 or 13-7 or something like that, but man, that was just, the differential was wow.
Way to say screw your 2 wins.
Right?
We're still here.
Okay, so Casey Colby sent me a message asking to show a team info display. We're going to stop at the beginning of Game 4 once we get in the game and figure that out and see if he can point me in the right... If you can give me the directions on that, Colby, because I think I have team info already up, but it's just not showing the bullpen pitchers. All right, so let's take a look at our GMs here and see what we have. Starting off with the Serpents. Changes for game number 4. All right, and they want to do some pitching changes, so we'll go ahead and start with that. The first one is Perry Hodder, none, normal, none. All right, Perry Hodder, none, normal, none. There we go. And then the second one is Athena Aria, none, normal, none. None, normal, none. There you go. See, does it? Let me know if that's everything you need for that one as we move up and check with the Sloss now. And Josu would like a stamina check on King George. We can take a look at that. Absolutely. Whoops. There we go. And King George's stamina is 100% rested. All right. So while... any other changes you'd like, Josu? Okay, so San Antonio is locked in for game number 4, and it looks like Seattle is also locked in for game number 4. So we're going to go ahead and take a look now at the stats here. We've already read off all the pitchers, so we have a couple more batters here to cover. And we're going to start off with San Antonio. Sloss top base swiper Anchovy had a decent season at the plate as well as on the base paths. This postseason, Chovy has almost replicated their regular season with a batting average just north of 250 and 6 stolen bases. And for Seattle, we have, let's see here, Christy Abbott faces his former team last season and had a serviceable first season in a Sea Serpents uniform. Abbott has not fared as well in the postseason as far as batting average and OBP, but has 3 home runs and just 32 at-bats. Our over-under for our predictions here for the mod team for game number 4 is 18.5 total hits. So if we can get a prediction going for 18.5 total hits for game number 4. And let's go ahead and move back over here to our matchups for this game and take a look at that real quick. And here we go. So it looks like, again, 5 for the Sloths batting, 3 for the Sea Serpents with the tie. But the Sloths do have the advantage here in this game with King George at 73 overall versus Lumpo Sullivan's 70 overall. Oh, excuse me, Danny Sullivan. So with 3 games in, Seattle making that amazing comeback in game number 3, putting on an offensive display. What are your thoughts, Bauer, for game number 4 moving forward?
Well, I'll tell you, the Sloths got kind of embarrassed there in Game 3 after winning the first couple of games, but I think that's going to give them a little extra motivation here going into Game 4. But yeah, I see Serpent's offense right now. I mean, how do you top that? 18 runs
Right.
in a single game, a playoff game, World Series game, nonetheless. Right. I hope they didn't run their offense dry there. But yeah, I mean, looking for both teams to get the offense going.
Right, especially against the best team in the Legends, too. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
That's
best of the best here. And putting up 18. That's
quite a feat. All right, so we're going to take a look at our predictions here. It looks like we're about 45 seconds left on the predictions. If you want to go ahead and make some easy channel points, now's the time to do so. And let's see here. I'm going to check on something while that's going on. All right, and we're going to move back over here to, go back. There we go. All right, so looks like both teams are locked in. We are all set to go. We're just waiting on the prediction to finish here. And let me just take a look at one last thing over here on this other setting. Where did it go?
Now, World Series is still 2-3-2, correct?
Yes, 2-3-2.
So two games here for the Seattle, in Seattle.
Yeah, 2 more and then we move the last 2 to
okay.
To San Antonio. Let me go ahead and update the top bar as well. We'll add in that win there for Seattle. There we go. All right, so we're going to get started here with game number 4. Everything is all locked in. Let's take a look at our last thing on the predictions. Now that they are closed, we have 58% under, 18.5 hits total, and 42% over. So here we go. Game number 4. Trayvon Knight, our leadoff batter, and Bauer, take us away.
Alrighty, Sloths looking to get things started here early in Game 4, only scoring the 1 run in Game 3. Trayvon Knight is going to lead it off, and they're going to ground out to the third baseman to lead off Game 4 here. Chris Jimenez, the shortstop, up next. They're going to strike out. Good start here for Danny Sullivan on the mound. Acuna Matata, the first baseman, up next. Number 3 hitter. Acuna Matata. Acuna Matata is going to strike out, and it's going to be a quick 1-2-3 inning here for the Sloths. Now we go to the Sea Serpents offense.
Hold on, we're going to check this. Oops. Where is
the team info's up? It's just in that top left corner.
Yeah, he was saying something about we should be able to see the relief pitchers, but I'm not.
Yeah, you can see on there available relievers, rested relievers.
Oh, okay, there it is, right there. Okay.
That's what he wanted.
I guess he just didn't see that part up there. All right, there we go.
Alrighty, Anita Fartinghouse is going to start it off here for Seattle. Anita is going to hit one up the middle, right past the shortstop for a leadoff single. These Serpents getting things started early again. Santana Cruz, the center fielder, is going to hit one to center field, and that's going to be the first out of the inning. Anita Fartinghouse apparently thought about running there, as they're going to try and steal second anyways. And they're going to be safe. So now a runner in scoring position for Krupakasov, and that's going to be down the third base line, and that is going to score the run. So Seattle scoring first yet again here at home. Second game in a row. Christy Abbott is going to hit one into right field, and that's going to be another single. They do not send the runner, though. So runner on the corner, 1 out, and now it's going to be 2 outs after Malat struck out. Jose Sloth-Seco up next. Sloth-Seco is going to strike out, and that's going to strand those 2 runners on base, but the Sea Serpents do strike first here in Game 4. Pork chop sandwiches looking to get something started for the Sloths. Going to be a ground out to third baseman, but it is dropped by the first baseman, and that's going to be an error. And the runner ends up on second base, so runner in scoring position already for McDonald, and they're going to strike out. Sudot, the catcher, up next. Sudot is going to hit one to the first baseman, a pop fly. That'll be the second out of the inning. Anchovy's going to hit one down the left field line, and that is gone. A home run for Anchovy, 375 feet to make it a 2-1 ball game. Anchovy's been the hero of the series so far for the Sloths. 49 power and just cracking dingers. Eshelman is going to see what they can do after that, and it's going to be a strikeout, but the Sloths do take the lead. O'Sullivan is going to see what he can do to strike back, and that's going to be a fly ball to left field for the first out. Croc's out. Had that huge game in the series already, and they're going to strike out for the second out of the inning. Davis Campbell, the shortstop, up next. They're going to hit one to right field, and that's going to be taken by the second baseman. So 1-2-3 inning there for the Sea Serpents. We send it to LBG for the top of the third.
And bottom of the order here, Sneaky Snack is up first, and that is towards deep center field, but that will be a flyout, out number 1. Top of the order, Trayvon Knight, right to the second baseman, ground out number 2. And now Jimenez. And this will be a flyout in the infield in a 1-2-3 inning. And Seattle coming up now. Top of their lineup. As that one's hit towards deep center field, and that one is out of here. Anita Fartinghouse seemed to hit quite a few over towards center field there. And that one connects for a single one blast. And it is now 2-2. Tie game. And this is the first tie game yet of the World Series. As this one is hit to the shortstop, and that is out number 1. Kripakosov up now, and they'll strike out. 2 outs now for Abbott. Abbott down the left field line, and this is going to be a double. Abbott sliding in, and we'll have a runner in scoring position for hot hitter Mellett. Adam Mellett past the third baseman. This could score a runner. They're turning to come home, and the throw is not going to be in time as Seattle puts another on the board. It is now 3-2. To the third baseman, goes to first, makes the play, leaves the runner stranded. They do get it out of that inning, but Seattle gets 2 more on the board. San Antonio's chance now. Kuma Matata will take a leadoff walk, and now pork chop sandwiches. Is hitting only .234 this postseason. Runner moves to second with the steal, and Pork Chop will get struck out. As now McDonald Jr. coming up. McDonald Jr. only hitting .146, and it looked like they got him. Ooh, they got Matata with the steal, trying to go to third. As this one's going to left field, that one will be caught, and just like that, Seattle is able to get out of that inning with no damage done. And it's their chance now, as leadoff strikeout here for Lumpo Sullivan. Croc's out, who had MVP the last game. Croc's out, deep shot towards right field, but that will be caught at the warning track. And another hit towards right field, but that one is over the fence, and Campbell, who's only hitting .262, gets their first home run of the World Series.
Out of the park.
Top of the order again, Anita Fartinghouse. And that one looked like it got dropped. Did they count it as an error? No, just a really hard hit single. This one's going towards center field. That will be a fly out. And that's going to retire the side. But Seattle gets another on the board. 4-2 now. San Antonio's work's cut out for him as Sudot comes up. Sudot, line drive right to the right fielder. What a catch by Anita Fartinghouse. Getting it done both on the field and at bat. This one hit to the third baseman, out number 2. Eshelman now. The second baseman going out to the outfield to get that one in the grass, and that will retire the side. Halfway through the game now, Seattle up by 2. This one to the shortstop, and that is out number 1 for Kripakosov. Christy Abbott to the second baseman, that is out number 2. And now Adam Mellett. Mellett, towering shot towards left field, but that is caught. 1-2-3 inning. Top of the 6th we go. Seattle still up by 2 here. Sneaky Snack for San Antonio will get a leadoff strikeout. Danny Sullivan still in the game. 6 strikeouts now for Sullivan. There's number 7 as Trayvon Knight strikes out as well. Jimenez. And 1-2-3 strikeout inning. for Danny Sullivan, and that puts him now up to 8. I think it's 8 strikeouts now. Wow. And here we go. Seattle's up at bat, and this one's a fly out to left field for out number 1. Saucedo is out, and now Lumpo Sullivan past the shortstop up the middle, and that'll be a base hit. 1 on, 1 out for Crocs out. Crocs out. The 4, the 6, and the 3 double play. And San Antonio is able to get out of that inning as we now move to the top of the 7th. Still down by 2. Acuna Matata. Matata, deep shot towards center field. That one's caught at the warning track, out number 1. Pork chop sandwiches. And pork chop sandwiches is going to get struck out. That'll bring up McDonald Jr. McDonald in the gap on the left side. That might be a triple here. No, they're going to stay at 2. Suadot now, runner in scoring position, 2 outs. Suadot, towering shot towards left field, but that does not have the distance. He gets under it, makes the catch. Stretch time now for Seattle, up by 2. Bottom of their lineup here with Campbell coming up first, who had the home run earlier in the game, as we get a pitching change now with Esteban Rodriguez Jr. coming in for San Antonio. And they'll give up a walk here to start us off. Anita Fartinghouse, and Anita takes a walk as well, and Esteban in trouble here. Santana Cruz, that'll be a strikeout. 2 on, 1 out for Santana. Krapokrasov, towering shot towards right field. That one's in the upper deck. Upper deck shot, 419 feet to right field. And Seattle adds
Out
3
of the
more,
park.
and it is now 7-2. And it looks like Seattle might tie this series up here. Still just 1 out. This one's hit to the second baseman, and Abbott is out, and now Adam Mellett with 2 outs. Mellett to the second baseman, and that will finally retire the side. But Seattle gets 3 more on the board, now leads by 5. Top of the 8th we go. Bauer, take us away.
Alrighty, hero of the series for the Sloths. Anchovy's going to lead it off here on the top half of the 8th. Anchovy's going to hit one to the center fielder for the first out of the inning. 5 outs remaining for the Sloths. Eshelman up next. They're going to check swing, and it's going to be a called third strike for the second out. Sneaky Snack up next. They're going to hit one right past the third baseman for a single. So any runners on base here for the Sloths is a good thing. Trevin Knight is going to strike out, however, and that is going to end the top half of the 8th here. Alrighty, Seattle looking to add on a little bit of insurance. No lead is safe in the World Series, as that's going to be a fly ball to center field for the first out of the inning. Lump O'Sullivan up next. O'Sullivan is going to hit one right up the middle, and that is going to be a single with 1 out. So 1 on, 1 out for Rock out with the Crocs out. DH, and they are going to strike out. Davis Campbell up now, shortstop with 2 outs. Here comes the pitch, and it's going to be a diving play by the shortstop. Really nice play there to get the Sloths out of that inning. Jimenez, the shortstop, who just made that really nice play, is going to hit a fly ball into left field. Only 2 outs remaining here for the Sloths, down 5. Acuna Matata is going to take a walk. Sloths just need base runners at this point. Pork chop sandwiches is going to take a strikeout. 1 out remaining here for the Sloths. Bobby McDonald Jr., the last hope, and that's going to be a ground ball to third baseman, and they're going to throw to second. And the Sea Serpents are going to take this game 7-2. And all of a sudden, this best of 7 series turns into a best of 3.
Wow.
Alrighty, Sea Serpents taking this game 7-2. As far as the hitting goes, just single hit games there for McDonald, Chovy, and Sneck on the San Antonio side. 4 RBIs for Krapokrasov, 2 hits. 2 hits for Abbott and O'Sullivan as well. Pitching side, King George III is going to take the loss, going 6 innings, 9 hits, and 4 earned. Danny Sullivan is going to get the W, going 6 innings, 1 hit, and 0 earned. DeMarco is going to get the save, and your player of the game is Anita Fartinghouse.
All right, well, 4 games in, and we have tied it up. Oh, my goodness. Wow. You know,
Best of 3, baby.
Best of 3, and Seattle only has 1 more home game yet. All 4 games have been based on the home team. So, you know, this is a very crucial game for Seattle. They need to take this one in order to have some sort of advantage with those last 2 games back in San Antonio. Let me go ahead and update our top top sheet there. There we go. And now we're going to check in with the GM, see if we have any updates for game number 5. In fact, let's go ahead and move on here. We're going to do a file save and get to our game day so we can take a look at, I'm sure they're going to want to look at their stamina. So first things first, let's go ahead and take a look at the Sloth stamina. And for the Sloths, their Game 5 starter is Billy Greer, and Billy Greer is at 100% rested. We'll go ahead and take a look now at Seattle. And Lucky El Charo is their starter for game number 5, and they are 100% rested as well. So let me go ahead and check to see if they have any other updates they want us to do. And for the Sloths, it looks like Joosu is saying they are good. If you can just confirm that, Joosu, that you're all set for game number 5 as we wait for C Does It. And C Does It's typing out something here. All right, so here we go. Looks like we have quite a few changes here. So we're going to start with Jackson DeMarco, and Jackson DeMarco is none, normal, none. So we'll set none, normal, none for DeMarco. Next one is Sing. Sing is stopper, 7th and close, high leverage. Sing is stopper, 7th and close, high leverage. And then next one is Athena Aria, middle relief, normal, long relief. Whoops. Middle relief, normal, long relief. There we go. And then finally, Perry Hodder, long relief, avoid high leverage, none. Perry Hodder, long relief, avoid high leverage, none. There we go. So, if you can let me know if those are correct for you, C Does It. If there's anything else I can add for you as we check to see if the Sloths are all locked in. They are. So Sloths are locked in. We're just waiting on the Sea Serpents now to confirm. And Sea Serpents are good to go as well. So let's go ahead and do a file save. And we're going to do the over-under now for our 5th game. Pulling that info up now for our predictions. And game 5 over-under prediction for our mod team. If you could do 9.5 total walks as our over-under for game number 5. 9.5 total walks for over-under in the prediction. And now, with the games, the series side tied 2-2. Seattle has one last game at home. Bauer is just, wow, what a crazy performance. It went one way, now the pendulum's gone the other side. Thoughts on how game 5 is going to go?
Yeah, like you said, it's been a battle of the home teams. All 4 games have gone the way of the home team. So you're obviously looking for Seattle to come up big here in Game 5. If you're the Sloths, you really want to steal one here in Game 5, because while you do have the advantage of going back with Game 6 and 7 at your ballpark, I don't think you really want to go back there down 3-2. That is not something you want to do in the World Series at all. You always want the advantage. So look for the Sloths to try and steal Game 5 here. But I don't know. Seattle looks to be unbeatable here at their ballpark.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at our matchups here for this 5th game and see if anything has changed here. And it was at 5-3 and a tie. That part's correct, but Lucky El Charo with the advantage here. 74 for Billy Greer with Lucky El Charo at 80. So maxed out Lucky El Charo coming in for Seattle, trying to get this game 3-2 advantage here. And we have about 35 more seconds left if you want to get in predicting your channel points. It is over under 9.5 total walks. The unders have it right now at about 2/3. So if you want to do over and make some good channel points, now's the time to do that. And as they're doing that, I'm going to take care of something real quick. And we'll add that in.
There has been a lot of walks this series, so
Right.
I might take that over.
Share. There we go. And we'll go ahead and send that out.
Out of the park.
All right. And 25 months for Legally Blind
Oh.
Gamer. Subscribing with Prime. I believe I am the highest month subscriber for the PBE. And that puts me at 25 months now. Whew, just over
We're
2
2
years.
years, man.
Right?
That's insane.
All right, so let's take a look at our predictions here. Predictions have closed, and it's 69% under. Nice. Versus over is
Nice.
31%. And we're going to get started with game number 5. Trevon Knight is going to be our leadoff batter, and San Antonio Sloss trying to get one here in Seattle, and here we go. And this is going to be a flyout in the infield for out number 1, and that'll bring up Jimenez. Jimenez to the third baseman, goes all the way across and is unable to make the play in time. What a great beat out there on the run. As that one's going to dribble down the left field side, and now we're going to have 2 runners. No! And, whoa, that was a pass error there, it looked like. What, did that get counted? No, that was not counted as an error. And somebody wants to explain that play to me. Oh my goodness, as we get a strikeout here. Runner does come home to score. Runner in scoring position, 2 outs. As this one is drilled towards left field, going back to the warning track, makes the catch, and that will retire the side. But what a weird play there.
I've never seen that.
I've never seen that either. Bottom of the first now, Seattle up over the third baseman's head. That's a leadoff hit for Anita Fardinghouse. This one's a tapper to the shortstop, and they're going to beat out the throw. Nowhere to go, as that one is 2 runners on now, no outs. And this is going to drop in front of the left fielder, and runners coming home, and they get the throw in time. They get the throw, but the runner does advance. Makes the catch, throws the run home, and this one's not in time, as Seattle gets 1 on the board with 2 outs here. That will be an RBI for Abbott. Now Mellett's up. Mellett towards the right side. This will be a flyout, and that will retire the side, but Seattle ties it up. 1-1, top of the second we go. And Ciudad up first over the shortstop's head, and that'll be a leadoff base hit for San Antonio. Hot hitter Anchovy, who's been great all series long. And this is going to be a 6-4-3. No, I thought it would be a 6-4-3 double play, but only the 6 and the 4 there. And at first, and going to second, and it looks like they threw her out. No, safe. This one is drilled towards left field, high fly ball. That one is caught. Out number 2, runner still a second. Second baseman gets this one, and that'll retire the side. San Antonio unable to capitalize on that great performance by Anchovy there. Bottom of the second we go. Seattle. As this one's hit to the third baseman, and Slaseco is out. Lump O'Sullivan now. O'Sullivan, line out to the second baseman, out number 2. And now rock out with your Crocs out. And this will be a fly out towards left field, and that will retire the side. Game is tied 1-1. Top of the third we go. Here comes Bauer.
Righty, leadoff man Trevon Knight's going to look to get more insurance here for the Sloths. Still a 1-1 ball game. And that is going to be a deep fly ball into left field, and that's one way to get things going here. Trevon Knight, though, a 380-foot bomb to make this a 2-1 ball game. Sloths take the lead here in Seattle for, I believe, the first time in the entire series.
Wow.
Jimenez is up next. I meant lead in Seattle, not the entire series.
Oh, right.
Matata is going to hit one to the second baseman for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up the number 4 hitter, Pork Chop Sandwiches, and they are going to strike out. So Sloth still striking there with the bomb there in the top half of the third. Number 9 hitter for Seattle, Campbell, is going to hit one to the third baseman. That looked to be a sidearm throw, and they're going to beat it out for the infield single. Anita Fardinghouse is going to ground out into the double play, however, so already 2 outs here for Seattle. Santana Cruz is going to hit one to left field. Nothing going there in the bottom half of the third as we head to the top half of the fourth. Bobby McDonald Jr. going to hit one to the first baseman. Pretty easy play for the first out. Ciudad, the catcher, up next. Ciudad is going to hit one down the right field line, and that's going to be a easy base hit. Going to turn it for the double. So 1 on, 1 at second base there for Anchovy. Anchovy's going to hit one to the second baseman. Diving play. That'll be the second out, but it will move the runner over to third. Eshelman up next. Eshelman's going to hit one up the middle. Pretty easy to play for the shortstop. And the Sea Serpents get out of that without giving up another run to the Sloths. Krapokrasov is up, and that is going to be a lead-off home run to right center field 434 feet to tie the ball game up yet again. 2-2 here on the bottom of the fourth. This series is insane.
Right? Wow.
Christy Abbott up next, seeing what they can do after that, and that's going to be in the right center gap as well. And that is going to be a fairly easy double. Didn't really need to slide in there. So runner on second here, no outs, and that'll bring up the hot hitter, Malat. Malat is going to hit one to the left fielder for the first out. Will not move the runner over. Jose Slaseco up next, also to the left fielders. Pretty much the same exact play and hit for the second out of the inning. Left fielder Lumpo Sullivan up next, and they're going to strike out. So Seattle does tie it here, but they had a runner on second base with no outs. Missed opportunity. Sneaky Sneck is going to hit one to the right fielder there for the first out of the top half of the fifth. Trayvon Knight is going to hit one to the third baseman for the second out. Chris Jimenez is up next. Chris Jimenez is going to look at ball four. So runner on first, 2 outs, and that is going to be back-to-back walks there for the Sloths. So 2 on, 2 out for Pork Chop Sandwiches. Pork Chop Sandwiches is going to take another walk. Back-to-back-to-back walks for... Now it's Bobby McDonald Jr., and he's going to hit one to the shortstop. And after giving up all those walks to load up the bases, the Sea Serpents are going to get out of it with a scoreless inning. No words. Rocks out with your Crocs out. It's going to hit one to left field, and that's going to take the lead in the bottom of the fifth. 380 feet. 3-2 ball game here.
Out of the park.
Seattle yet again takes the lead at home. They are just tearing it up in their home ballpark. Davis Campbell's going to see what he can do after that, and it's going to be a strikeout for the first out of the inning. Leadoff hitter Anita Fartinghouse is going to hit one to the first baseman, and they're just going to decide not to play baseball, and that's going to be an easy double for Anita Fartinghouse.
Wow.
Santana Cruz is going to hit one right past the second baseman. They could send the runner, and they choose not to. Runner on the corners with only 1 out, and they're going to send Cruz, and that'll be a stolen base. So runners on second and third, 1 out, make it 2 after Kapakosov strikes out. Christy Abbott is going to hit one to the second baseman. Very nice play to save runs. That could have been very deadly for the Sloths there, but they get out of it only giving up the 1 home run. Alrighty, Sudat is going to come up for the Sloths with a leadoff strikeout here in the top half of the sixth. Anchovy down the right field line, and that is going to get right to the warning track, and that is going to be a triple for Anchovy with 1 out. So a runner there on third base with only 1 out, and Eshelman is going to hit one to center field, and that's going to drop and bring in the run, and we are tied yet again here in Game 5. Sneaky Sneck up next for the second out of the inning with a strikeout, and that'll bring up leadoff hitter Trayvon Knight. Trayvon Knight's going to hit one down the third base line. Tough play for the third baseman. He won't get it there in time. Runner on first and second, 2 outs. Chris Jimenez is going to strike out to stop whatever was going on here for the Sloths in the top of the sixth. We head to the bottom of the sixth, tied 3-3. Adam Malat is going to strike out to lead it off. Jose Slaseco up next. Slaseco is going to hit a swinging bunt to the pitcher. Very close play, but that's going to be the second out of the inning. Lumpo Sullivan up next, and they're going to strike out, so a 1-2-3 inning there for the Sea Serpents. So much happening this game.
Right.
Kunya Matata, top half of the seventh. That's going to be a ground out to the shortstop for the first out of the inning. Pork Chop Sandwiches up next. Pork Chop Sandwiches is going to strike out for the second out. Bobby McDonald Jr., the number 5 hitter, is going to strike out, and that's going to be another 1-2-3 inning there, back to back. Rock out with your Crocs out. Number 8 hitter, DH, going to lead it off here for the Sea Serpents. They're going to hit a foul ball to the catcher. That's going to be the first out of the inning. Davis Campbell is going to take a strikeout looking for the second out of the inning. Anita Fartinghouse already had a very good game today. Let's see what they can do here in the bottom half of the seventh. Anita is going to hit one to the shortstop, and the shortstop's just going to let it fly over their head, as that's going to be a single there with 2 outs. Santana Cruz, the center fielder. Santana Cruz is going to strike out for the third out of the inning, so still tied here 3-3 as we head to the top half of the eighth.
Oh boy, Suadat, Chobe, and Eshelman, San Antonio, and look at that. Suadat starts us off with the leadoff double. Could they go for 3? No, they're going to stay at 2. Runner in scoring position now for hot hitter and Chobe. And Line drive to the shortstop. Out number 1. Escherman now, runner in scoring position. And a sliding catch by the center fielder. For out number 2, runner does not advance. Sneaky Snack now with 2 outs. Sneaky Snack, towering shot towards left field. And did he get it? Yes, he did. He caught it at the wall. At the wall, he made the play. Wow.
Game.
Able to get out of that one. As we now move to the bottom of the 8th. Still tie game here. Seattle getting a leadoff walk here. Or excuse me, no, strikeout by Kripakosov. Christy Abbott now. Abbott will drop in front of the right fielder. That'll be a base hit with 1 out. Mellett now. Mellett striking out, and now 2 outs for Joey Sloseko. Sloseko 1 on, 2 outs. Sloseko past the shortstop. That'll be a base hit. 2 runners on now for Lump O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan to the gap in center. This could score 1. Here he comes, and they're going to score, and that's going to break the tie as Seattle goes ahead now, 4-3. Still 2 runners on, 2 outs for Rock Out with your Crocs out. Crocs out. Towering shot towards center field, but that one will be caught. Leave 2 runners stranded, but Seattle breaks the tie. Top of the 9th we go. San Antonio down by 1, top of their order. Trayvon Knight is first with the strikeout. Oh boy. And can Singh get us out of this one for Seattle? Take us to San Antonio, but this one's towards the warning track, and that one's caught in left field. Out number 2, last chance here, Akuna Matata. And this is going to be a flat towards left field, as that's going to do it, as the Seattle Sea Serpents win all 3 games at home and are able to go to Game 6 with the advantage of 3 games to 2. Let's go ahead and take a look at our stats here. Total was 4-3 in runs, 13 hits for Seattle, 9 for San Antonio. No errors in this game. Looking at San Antonio's batting, we do have 2 hits and an RBI from Trayvon Knight, 3 hits from Suidat. Over on the other side for Seattle, 3 hits for Anita Fardinghouse, 2 hits each for Cruz, Kripakosov, Abbott, and it looks like a home run as well for Crocs out. On the pitching end for San Antonio, no decision from Greer, with Windsor taking their first loss of the postseason, and Seattle's Lucky El Charo, no decision, with Singh getting their second win and shutting it out at the end there. Player of the game is Lucky El Charo. El Charo, 5.1 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, 96 pitches. So there we go. Game number 5 is in the books now. We're going to move on now to day number 6, and we do have the off day. Let's go ahead and just save just to make sure nothing gets lost here. There we go. We'll move on to our next day. File save this one as well. And now we're going to check the Homie and Davies stamina here. So we'll go ahead and start with Homie first. And Homie is at 100% rested. And we'll move over here to San Antonio. And Davies is at 100% rested as well. So now that we've checked their starters for game number 6, we're going to move on now and look at the Discord, see if we have any updates here for the Sloths. And Sloths are locking in, saying they are good for game number 6. Now we're going to check for C Does It, who's typing out something here, and then we'll go ahead and switch over to the Sea Serpents because it looks like they're going to have some changes. And while those changes are being added, if we can get a over-under on game number 6, and that is going to be 1.5 home runs. So if the mod team could add a prediction for 1.5 home runs for game number 6, we'll go ahead and get that started as I check here on the Serpents update for game number 6. And while that's being typed out, Bauer, Seattle, 3 games at home. I'll win all 3, able to turn the tide here and take it back to San Antonio with a 1-game advantage. San Antonio has to win both games now, but they're at home. What do you think about these last 2 games coming up possibly?
That last game, game 5, was a very tough win for Seattle. There's a ton of things that happened in that game. It's a ton of fun to call. Obviously, yeah, every team winning every game at home. You would think advantage Sloths because they're at home, but I don't know. It's being down 3-2. It looks like this might go in the way of the Sea Serpents. They just look to be hot right now.
Right. And, as far as the batting goes, just so many extra base hits. You know, the first couple games it was a lower score, more small ball kind of setup in
Yeah.
San Antonio, but Seattle must have their home runs cranked on there because uh, it was what, like 12, 14, something like that through all those games for them. That
Yeah.
was just crazy,
Just came out hitting nukes. There's no other way to put it. And it's
right?
all the hitters with like lower power as well. I mean, you even saw Anchovy with the 49 power cranking it in the slots lineup. So yeah, they must have that juiced in their park or something.
Right. All right, so it looks like we've got the changes in that C does it requested for the Sea Serpents. Are there any other changes I can do for you? And we'll just check one more time on the sloths, make sure there's no updates. They did lock in as saying they are all set before. And C does it is giving us a go ahead. So we're going to do a file save here, and let's go ahead and take a look at our matchups for game number 6. And here we go. So still the 5-3 with the tie batting wise, but Glenn Davies taking the advantage here with the 60 overall. Hold on. Oh, the 69 overall for Straight Gas Homie versus Glenn Davies 60 overall. So advantage here pitching wise for Seattle, batting wise for San Antonio. And with no more changes, we're going to take one last look at our predictions, see how those turned out. And the predictions are now closed, and with the submissions in, looks like the over is at 75%, under is at 25%. So we're going to go ahead and get started now with game number 6. Anita Fartinghouse is our leadoff batter, and Bauer, take us away.
Alrighty, game number 6 of the PBE World Series in San Antonio back again. Anita Fartinghouse is going to lead it off here for the Sea Serpents, and that is going to be a ground ball to the shortstop for the first out of this game. Santana Cruz is going to hit one to the third baseman, and that's going to be the second out. Kripakosov, the catcher, up next. Kripakosov is going to hit one to the first baseman, and that's going to be a quick 1-2-3 inning here for Seattle. Heading on to the sloths, looking to get something going at home, and Trayvon Knight is going to hit one into right field, and that is going to be a lead-off home run back at home. 424 feet for Knight. 1-0 lead here in the bottom half of the first already. Sloths are not out of this yet. Chris Jimenez up next. Jimenez is going to hit one to the right center field. That's back at the wall and just short for the first out of the inning. Acuna Matata is going to take a walk. So now we have a runner on first with 1 out. Pork Chop Sandwiches, the second baseman. That is going to be right over the third baseman's head for a single. So runners on first and second here. 1 out. Bobby McDonald Jr. going to hit one to center field. That's going to be caught. They are not going to try and tag for third base. Sudat, the catcher, up next. Sudat's going to hit one up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. And they're going to send the runner home, and he's going to get thrown out.
Whoa.
He's going to get thrown out from center field. What a throw.
Wow.
Trayvon Knight getting the leadoff home run to give San Antonio the lead, but it could have been a lot more. We head to the top half of the second there. Abbott is going to hit one to left field for the first out of the inning. Adam Malott is going to hit one to center field for the second out of the inning. Jose Sloth-Seco. Sloth-Seco is going to strike out, so a couple of 1-2-3 innings there to start off for Seattle. Anchovy's going to hit one down the third base line. Pretty easy play for the third baseman. Eshelman, the DH, number 8 hitter, is going to strike out for the second out of the inning. Sneaky Sneck. Sneaky indeed, hitting 360 in the playoffs. Sneaky Sneck is going to hit one to the shortstop, but it's going to go right over his head for a single. So 2 outs, 1 on here for Trayvon Knight, who started off the game with the dinger, and that's going to be hit to right field. That's going to be taken pretty easily by the right fielder. Still a 1-0 game here as we head to the top half of the third.
And bottom third of the order here for Seattle, Lumpo Sullivan first, because this one's hit to the second baseman, ground out for out number 1. Rock out with your Crocs out. Do the gap in center, and that'll be base hit with 1 out. And that'll bring up Campbell, who had a great game a few games ago. Campbell, though, will strike out here, and that'll be out number 2. Top of the order, hot hitter, Anita Fartinghouse. Anita, and this will be a fly out to left field. That will retire the side, leaving the runner stranded. We'll now move to the bottom of the third. San Antonio up now. This one's hit to the second baseman, and Jimenez hits into a ground out. Strikeout from Matata, and that'll bring up Pork Chop Sandwiches. Pork Chop Sandwiches strikes out looking, and that will retire the side. And Straight Gas Homie now doing pretty good so far. Only giving up the 1 run. As Seattle comes up now top the 4th, and that will be a leadoff strikeout for Cruz. Kripakosov. And that's in the gap on the right side, past the center fielder. That will be a double with 1 out. Christy Abbott, runner in scoring position. Christy. And this will be a flyout towards center field. Runner does tag, comes into third, slides, and is safe. Mellett now, runner at third, Mellett, and this will be a flyout towards left center field. And that retires the side, leaving that runner stranded. Bottom of the 4th we go, still 1-0 San Antonio. And that was a walk there for cold hitter McDonald Jr. That'll bring up Sudat. And a pass ball will let McDonald Jr. get the second. Runner in scoring position now with no outs, but Sudat strikes out. Hot hitter Anchovy, the hero so far for San Antonio. And Anchovy strikes out. 2 outs now for Eshelman. Runner in scoring position. And Eshelman strikes out as well. And Straight Gas Homie getting some extra strikeouts there as they'll retire the side. Top of the 5th we go now. Seattle up. And that one's hard hit, but what a catch by the center fielder, Trayvon Knight. Able to grab that one right out of the air and get the out. As we get a strikeout next from O'Sullivan. It's already 2 outs for Rock Out with your Crocs out. And Crocs out, check swing, strikeout. And that'll retire the side halfway through the game. San Antonio still up by 1. Number 9 hitter, Sneaky Sneck up now. Sneck. And what a catch by the center fielder. Santana Cruz reaching out and snagging that one. And Cruz with the sliding catch again.
Oh my God.
Cruz putting on a display in center field there. This one's his shortstop, and that will be a ground out. 1-2-3 inning. Top of the 6th we go now. Seattle still down by 1. Need to get a run here, as that's going to be a fly out to center field. Out number 1 here. Anita Fartinghouse, top of the order. Anita will strike out. 2 outs for Cruz. And this is going to be a fly out to left field, and that will retire the side. Bottom of the 6th we go. Still up by 1 to San Antonio. Meet of their lineup here now with Matata coming up first. And look how far the second baseman went out for that one. Still unable to get it, as that'll drop for a base hit. To the second, the shortstop, and the 4-6-3 double play. Nice double play there. McDonald Jr. now with 2 outs. Second baseman running way out into the grass and grabs that one. And all 3 batters are retired. Top of the 7th we go, still down by 1. Hot hitter Kripakosov will strike out, leading us off here. Christy Abbott, hard hit ball towards deep center field, and that one is out of here. Abbott ties the game up, 1-1 with a single run blast.
Out of the park.
448 feet, and that ties the game up. And this one's hit towards right center field. That one is caught, and that is out number 2. This one to the third baseman, and Slaseco hits into a ground out. That will retire the side, but Seattle needed that much needed run here. And bottom of the 7th we go, stretch time, San Antonio, tie game. And this is going to be a fly to left field, out number 1 for Suadat, hot hitter Anchovy. And to the second baseman, will they get it back in time? Yes, they do, just barely beating out Anchovy's running. 2 outs now. And a strikeout from Eshelman, and that will retire the side. And oh boy, game number 5, tied at 1, top of the 8th. Take it away, Bauer.
Okay, top of the 8th here in game 6. O'Sullivan is going to lead off this half inning with a strikeout for the first out. Rock Out with your Crocs out, the DH up next. Rock Out is going to take a walk. Key runner here for Seattle. Campbell's going to hit one to center field. That is going to be caught for the second out of the inning. Hot hitter Anita Fartinghouse up next. Anita is going to hit a infield pop fly, and that is going to end this half inning with 0 runs being scored. Going to the bottom half of the 8th here, Sneaky Sneck is going to hit one up the middle, and that's going to be a leadoff single. So now we got 1 out, no outs for the Sloths. Trevin Knight going to hit one to the right center gap, and that's going to get down, and that's going to be a double. Do they send the runner home? They do not. Runner on second and third. No outs for Chris Jimenez. Jimenez is going to strike out for the first out of the inning. Acuna Matata is going to hit one to the shortstop, and they don't send the runner. And there's 2 outs. Pork chop sandwiches going to hit one past the first baseman. And that's going to bring in 2 and be a double. The Sloths take the lead late here.
Wow.
3-1. Whew. Bobby McDonald Jr. is going to hit one to center field, and that's going to be the 3rd out, but the damage has already been done. The Sloths take the lead with 2 runs here in the bottom half of the 8th.
Oh my
3-1 ball game. Santana Cruz see what they can do here in the top half of the 9th. That is going to be the first out of the inning. A fly out to center field. Pokrasov, hot hitter, is going to strike out. Final chance for Seattle here. Abbott, the first baseman. Christy Abbott is going to strike out, and the San Antonio Sloths are going to take Game 6, and the 7-game series turns into a 1-game winner-takes-all World Series.
Ow.
San Antonio is going to take this game 3-1 with that 2-run inning in the bottom of the 8th. As far as the Seattle offense goes, just a couple of one-hit games there for I cannot say that right now. Abbott and Crocs out. All single-hit games. Couple of hits there for Knight and Pork Chop Sandwiches. Couple RBIs as well for Sandwiches. DeMarco is going to take the loss there, going the 2 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned. Rodriguez Jr. is going to get your W for San Antonio. 2 2/3, no hits, no earned runs. Your player of the game is Glenn Davies, getting that 6 1/3, 3 hits, and 1 earned. Game 7 we go.
All right. Well, before we do anything else, if somebody from head office who is in the channel with us would like to do a special announcement in the game day or announcements channel on the main server to let everybody know we're about to do Game 7, please go ahead and take care. I see Danny B's in the chat. Danny, if you could take care of that for us, give us an announcement to have people come in and join for the final game. And while we're getting prepped for that, let's go ahead and take a look at our pitching for game number 7 so that the GMs can take a look at their pitchers. Starting off with the Sea Serpents, Danny Sullivan. Oh boy, at 58%, slightly tired for Danny Sullivan. Going to Lucky El Charo, 28% exhausted, and Straight Gas Homie is at 0%. So Seattle is in trouble with their starting pitcher here. We're going to take a look now at the Sloths. King George. Now I did move forward a day, didn't I? No, I did not move it forward. Okay, so we're going to move it forward here. There we go. Now we're set. Now we're going to go in and take a look. Sorry about that. All right, Sloths first. Pitching. King George III, 100% rested. Moving on to Seattle. Danny Sullivan, 100% rested. So both the starting pitchers are 100%. So we're going to take a look now at the Discord and see if we have any other updates on Greer and George. Okay, I can take a look at Greer too. Not a problem. Let's take a look at Greer. And Greer is at 59%, slightly tired. King George is at 100%, and Davies at 0%. And we'll take a look and see if we have any updates from Sea Serpents. And oh boy.
Yes, we do.
Sea Serpents dumped like, 7 or 8 of those here. All right, so let's go ahead and take care of that first, and then we'll check back in with the Sloths afterwards. And starting first with Booze Gooser, Stopper, 7th, High Leverage. Booze Gooser, Stopper, 7th, High Leverage. Next one is Aria, Middle, Use Less Often, Long. Middle, Use Less Often, Long. Alright, third one is Ragnarok, Middle, Less, Long. Middle, Less, Long. And then we have DeMarco, Middle, Normal, High. DeMarco, Middle, Normal, High. And then Sing is Middle, Normal, None. Middle, Normal, None. And then finally Perry Hodder, None, Normal, None. none, normal, none. There you go. See, does it? Any other things that I can change there for you as we check with the Sloss? Greer to middle relief, please. Then check stamina on him again, please. Absolutely. So we'll go here, and while Seattle's locking in theirs, we'll change Greer. Drag Greer over here, and Greer to middle relief, and I'm guessing normal usage, and that's it, right? So we'll just go ahead and do Greer, middle relief, normal usage. Any secondary usage or anything for them? Oh, you wanted to also see their stamina. Greer stamina at reliever is at 48% tired. We'll move this up and change this to a 2-man. There we go. And King George is at 100%. And it looks like we have something here.
Oh, Moosey. 10 subs.
Oh my goodness. Wow, Moosey. Thank you so much. 10 gifted subs from Moosey. Holy crap. Thank you so much. Wow, what a hype train tonight in the subs department. All right, so looks like Seattle has locked in. Branson, go avoid high leverage. Sure, not a problem. There we go. All right. Anything else for the Sloss I can do for you for Game 7? And let's go ahead and get the prediction started for Game 7 as well. Our prediction for the over-under for the mod team, who will win? Will it be San Antonio or will it be Seattle for Game number 7? Please go ahead and start a prediction on who will win between the two teams as we check on to see if the Sloths are locked in now. Okay, so Sloths say they are all set. Sea Serpents say they are all set. Let me check to see if we got any sort of announcement in the main server.
Last bet of the season as well, so get your channel points in now.
All right, so Game 7. So I think here's what we're going to do. You've never done a World Series before, and so I'm going to do the first half of the game, and you're going to do the second half so you can call the final. What do you think?
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I am sure. I am sure.
No. You take the second half.
Are you sure,
take
man?
The second half.
Yeah. I'd love for you to take it if you want it.
No, you take the second half.
Okay.
You're better at this than I am, and I don't want to ruin it.
All right. Well, all right. So in that case, then we are all locked in. We're going to get started. Game number 7. Let's take a look at our matchups for our final game here. And here we go. So we are still at the 5-3 and tie advantage for San Antonio batting, but San Antonio now with Danny Sullivan has the advantage of pitching with 70 overall versus the 73 overall for King George versus the 70 overall for Danny Sullivan. So, game number 7. This is it. Season 30. 1 game to go. Who's going to walk away world champions? We're about to find out as Bauer is going to lead us off with Anita Farting House, our final game of the season.
Alrighty, Game 7, winner takes all here in San Antonio. Leading it off for the Sea Serpents is going to be Anita Farting House, tearing it up this series, and they're going to start it off with a leadoff single here in Game 7. Just what you want. Santana Cruz. And that's going to be a pass ball, and that's going to get Farting House into scoring position already. Santana Cruz going to hit one to center field. It's going to be a bit shallow. The second baseman's even going to get that. Krapakasov is up next. Krapakasov is going to hit one into right field. Let's see if they tag the runner. They do not, so still that runner on second with 2 outs.
We're going to pause this for a second because we do still have the predictions going. So before we I guess I didn't realize it was still going, but we still have about a minute left in the predictions, and we're still early in the first inning. We're gonna stop it here to make sure we
that's fine.
We don't give anything away. But right now it is
look at the channel points.
Whoa, folks, we are at 600 and almost 40,000 channel points in this final game. If you want to earn some buku channel points, now is the time to do it. Take all your points.
I put mine in.
There you go. Seattle up to 52% now. Over 300,000 channel points for Seattle. Timer's still going down here. Chance to get in your prediction. They must have set it for like 3 minutes or something. Wow, it's taking a while here. All right, so we're just going to let this keep running out. And Okay, so it looks like it ended. Okay, so
we're
prediction:
done.
we are done. 58% for Seattle, 406,000 versus 295,000 for San Antonio, 42%. And back to the game we go. Top of the first. Take it away, Bauer.
Absolutely insane amounts of channel points going up. Christy Abbott is going to take a walk here. So 1 on, or 2 on actually, first and second with 2 outs. Malat up next, and they're going to hit one to right field, and that's going to be taken in by the right fielder. So nothing on the board here for Seattle, but they do get that hit and a walk. Trevon Knight has been an absolute stud from the leadoff spot this series. Knight, to lead off this game, is going to take a walk, getting on base for San Antonio. Chris Jimenez, the shortstop, up next. Jimenez is going to hit one up the middle, and that is going to be taken in by the second baseman. Acuna Matata up now, and Knight is going to take off for second. They're going to be safe. So runner in scoring position for San Antonio. That's going to get past the second baseman. They're going to send the runner home, and San Antonio is going to strike first here with an RBI double from Acuna Matata. 1-0 game already here in the bottom of the first. Pork chop sandwiches up the middle, and that's going to be another base hit. They will not send the runner. Runners on the corners with 1 out. Bobby McDonald is going to hit one to the second baseman, and they're going to bumble it. And that's going to be an error to bring in another run. Runners on first and second, 1 out. Make it 2 as the flyout from Sudat. Anchovy up next. Hot hitter Anchovy is going to take a walk. And that is going to load the bases here for Eshelman. Cold hitter Eshelman. Can they get it out of it? They can. It's going to be a single over into left field. That's going to bring in 2 runs to make it a 4-0 ball game here early for San Antonio. And they still have runners on first and second here with 2 outs. Sneaky Snack is going to hit one to second base, and that is going to finally end the bleeding here. 4-run inning to start off the offense for San Antonio. What can Seattle do in the top half of this inning? Sloss Seiko is going to hit one to the first baseman. That's going to be an out. First out of the inning. Lump O'Sullivan is up next. Lump O'Sullivan is going to strike out for the second out. Rock out with your Crocs out the DH. A bit cold as of late. Looking to get things started here for Seattle. That's going to be a ground out to the first baseman. So after giving up 4, Seattle goes 1, 2, 3. Back to Trayvon Knight, and that's going to be a deep fly ball into left field, and it's gone. A 5-0 ball game for San Antonio, 410 feet. Trayvon Knight has just gone off in this World Series. What a batter to have as your leadoff hitter.
Right.
Chris Jimenez is going to see what he can do after that, and that's going to be a single over into right field. So a runner on first, no outs. Acuna Matata up next. Acuna Matata is going to strike out. So 1 on, 1 out for Pork Chop Sandwiches. Pork Chop Sandwiches is going to hit one up the middle for a single. Jimenez is going to go all the way to third on that. So runners on the corners here, 1 out. Bobby McDonald, deep fly ball to right center field. Should be enough to tag up the runner, and they do. So now it's going to be a 6-0 ball game for San Antonio. Quickly coming out of hands from Seattle here. Sudat's going to hit one up the middle. Shortstop is going to moonwalk over and catch that ball for the third out of the inning. Alrighty, Seattle really has to get something going here in the top half of the third. That's just say you want to start it. Campbell getting a leadoff single over into right field. Anita Fartinghouse up next as Campbell's going to take second on a stolen base. Fartinghouse is going to strike out after that for the first out of this inning. Santana Cruz now a cold hitter. Santana Cruz deep fly ball to left field, and Seattle is on the board here in the top half of the third with a 406-foot home run by Santana Cruz. Cold hitter getting Seattle back into this game. Only 6-2 now. Pakasov is going to hit a fly ball to left field. That's going to be a diving catch by the left fielder to save a hit. Christy Abbott is going to hit a fly ball over into the right center gap, and that's going to be a double here with 2 outs. Second baseman Malat is up next, seeing if they can bring in Abbott after that. And that's going to be a high fly ball into right field, and that's gone. A 407-foot bomb from Adam Malat. And all of a sudden, that 6-0 ball game is a 6-4 ball game. Seattle's coming back. Their offense has found something in San Antonio. Sloss Seiko is going to hit one to left field, and that is going to end this top half of the third, but not before Seattle starts that insane comeback.
Wow.
Whew.
Crazy.
Okay, bottom of the third here. Anchovy's going to take a walk. To lead it off. Eshelman is up next. They're going to strike out for the first out of the inning. Sneaky Sneck is up as Anchovy's going to take a stolen base there. So runner in scoring position. Sneaky Sneck to third base. Anchovy is just going to run to third base even though the ball was hit there. So runner on third base there for Trayvon Knight, and Trayvon Knight is going to strike out. So a scoreless inning for the first time here in San Antonio for the Sloths. Going to the top half of the fourth here, O'Sullivan is going to hit one up the middle for a leadoff single. So much offense happening in this game. Rock out with your Crocs out is going to hit one up the middle as well. And that's going to be a pretty easy double play there, unassisted.
They didn't get the double.
I guess not a double. Okay, well, he was on second base, but apparently didn't step on it. That's going to be a ground out for the second out of the inning. And then Farting House is going to fly out to right field. And that will be a scoreless inning for Seattle. That's a very weird half inning. Chris Jimenez to start it off here for the Sloths. It's going to be a strikeout here in the bottom half of the fourth. Acuna Matata up next. Acuna Matata is going to hit one right in between the third baseman and shortstop for a single there. 1 on, 1 out for pork chop sandwiches. Acuna Matata on the move, and he's going to steal second. Still pork chop sandwiches. He's going to strike out. Cold hitter Bobby McDonald. That's going to be a swinging bunt, and he's going to get on with an infield single. So now runners on the corners here, 2 outs. Catcher Sudat is going to hit a high fly ball into left field, and that is going to be the third out of the inning. So a couple of scoreless half innings here after quite the offensive showing. Top half of the fifth here, Santana Cruz going to hit a infield fly to, I guess, the third baseman. Catcher sitting under it, but third baseman came in. Kripakosov is going to hit one to the third baseman. He's going to dive and miss it, and that is going to be an infield single. 1 on, 1 out. Christy Abbott. Christy Abbott is going to hit an infield fly to the second baseman for the second out of the inning. Adam Malott is up next. Adam Malott is going to hit one to the shortstop, and he's just going to take it over to second base for the third out. We will head to the bottom half of the fifth inning, and then we will send it over to LBG after that. Anchovy. Anchovy's going to hit one to the second baseman. Nice little line out there. Brian Eshelman, DH, is going to hit one to right field for the second out of the inning. 2 outs, nobody on. Sneaky Sneck is going to strike out, and that will send it to the top half of the sixth here. LBG, take it away.
4 innings left. Here we go. Joey Sloseko coming up to bat for Seattle. Down by 2 here. Joey's going to strike out and lead us off, and that'll bring up Buck O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan, the tapper to the pitcher. Will they beat out the throw? They do. Infield single for O'Sullivan. That'll bring up Crocs out. Crocs out, strikes out. And now with 2 outs, Campbell, runner at first. Campbell, and the shortstop going out to the outfield to get that one, and that'll retire the side. Bottom of the sixth we go now. San Antonio up by 2, top of their lineup. Trayvon Knight starting us off. And this will be an infield flyout to the second baseman. Jimenez now. Jimenez striking out. And now with 2 outs, Acuna Matata. Pitching change here as Ragnarok comes in. And this will be a flyout to center field. 1-2-3 inning. And Seattle still trying to hold on here. Top of the seventh they go. 9 outs remaining, down by 2. And that's going to be in the gap on the left side. And that will be a leadoff base hit. A double for Anita Fartinghouse. Runner in scoring position with Cruz with no outs. Cruz towering shot towards left field. Caught at the warning track. Runner tagging toward the third. Runner at third now for Kripakosov. Kripakosov striking out. 2 outs now for Abbott. Runner at third. Abbott towards center field. And that one will be caught. And that will retire the side, leaving the runner stranded. Stretch time now for San Antonio. Up by 2. Middle of their lineup here. Pork chop sandwiches striking out. McDonald Jr. McDonald Jr. striking out looking. And now Suadat. Suadat to the pitcher. Ragnarok throws to first. Gets the out. And that'll retire the side. 6 more outs remaining for Seattle. Down by 2. Got to get something going here. Mellett. Mellett striking out. Cold hitter Sloseko now. Sloseko to the shortstop. Look at how slow Sloseko was running. Wow. O'Sullivan now with 2 outs. And O'Sullivan will strike out. 3 outs remaining for Seattle. Can San Antonio pad their lead here? Bottom of the 8th we go. And a leadoff walk here for Anchovy, which is probably a good idea, being that they're a hot hitter right now. Anchovy going to second, and they get thrown out, it looks like. Yes, Anchovy got thrown out, going for the steal. And we get the strikeout from Eshelman. 2 outs now for Sneck. Seattle trying to get out of this jam here, get 2 more runs on the board, top of the next inning. As that one's hit down the left field line, that's going to be at least a double here. And Sneck getting on with a double. Top of the order, Trayvon Knight. 1 on, 2 outs. Trayvon Knight, and they're going to get the out at first, and that will retire the side. Last chance here for Seattle. Croc's out, Campbell, Fardinghouse. Will one of them be the hero? Here we go. Can San Antonio shut them down? Last chance. And this is going to be a flyout in the infield. Out number 1. Campbell up now. Campbell will take a walk. Runner first for Anita Fardinghouse with 1 out. Hot hitter Fardinghouse coming up to bat. Fardinghouse gets beamed. We have 2 runners on now with 1 out. Santana Cruz. Santana Cruz, the 4, the 6, but not the 3. Runners at the corners. 2 outs. To the gap into the left right side. One's going to score. Runner going to third. Runners at the corners. Down by 1. Christy Abbott. Christy Abbott. And Christy Abbott strikes out. And that's going to do it as the San Antonio Sloths are going to win the Season 30 Major League World Series in dramatic fashion in the 7th game with a score of 6-5. Man, I couldn't have gotten any closer. 7 games, 1 run differential at the end there. Oh my goodness. Wow.
No words.
And every team won at home. Every team, the entire series, every single game won at home. Talk about park factors. Wow, that is crazy. All right, so let's take a look at our last box score of the season. Here we go. Starting with Seattle, 2 hits here for Anita Fardinghouse, 2 RBIs for Cruz, 2 hits for Krabakosov, 2 RBIs for Mellett, and 2 hits for Lumpo Sullivan. Over on the San Antonio side, 2 runs, a hit, and an RBI and a walk for Knight, 2 hits and an RBI for Matata, 2 hits for pork chop sandwiches, 2 RBIs for McDonald Jr., and 2 RBIs for Eshelman. On the pitching end for Seattle, Sullivan taking their 2nd loss of the postseason, with San Antonio's King George III getting their 3rd win, going 5.0 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, 87 pitches. Todoroki getting their 2nd hold, and Nolan Windsor their 2nd save. Player of the game is Trayvon Knight. Trayvon Knight, 2 runs, a hit, an RBI, and a walk, is your player of the game. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our MVP of the series. And our MVP is going to be Anchovy. Anchovy for San Antonio is your MVP of the World Series for Season 30. So congratulations again to not only San Antonio, Juosu, all the players, Anchovy winning MVP. What a great season. Let's talk a second about the Seattle Sea Serpents. They were the 3rd place wild card seed in the Champions Division. They had to face the Toros. They had to face Death Valley. They had to face Indy. A lot of big matchups for them, and yet in the playoffs they were still able to overcome it, only losing 1 time to get into the World Series. But they were just not able to prevail here. What a crazy series. What a crazy end of the season. What are your thoughts, Bauer?
Well, I will say this is not the last time we're going to see Seattle here. They've got an absolutely stacked team. And yeah, it's been a joy to play them all season. I was kind of rooting for them a little bit because, we've been rivals all season, being the Toros co-GM. But yeah, they will definitely be back. This is not the last time you will see them. As for the Sloths, I mean, not much more to say. Juosu knows what she's doing, eh?
I know, right? Wow. I can remember back when I joined in Season 11, even back in Season 11, the Sloths were just like, the team to beat. They were always, it was either them or the Scorpions, just every single season. And, just to be able to carry that winning tradition over for so many seasons, over, God, what is it? Weren't they one of the original teams too, like from Season 1? So, they've been around.
The team is, but not the branding.
But not the branding. Okay. But, just to have such a long and storied winning tradition, just great to see that they're finally able to come back and get another World Series after an absence of like 6 seasons now or something like that. Able to come back and win it all. Congratulations! Wow. All right, so let's go ahead and take a second here to get the index started uploading, and then we can take another couple minutes to talk about the. Let me make sure I
Sarah's
don't
gonna
have
get mad at me if I don't say and Shiesty on stream. So
and
there you go,
Shiesty
and Shiesty.
and Shiesty. All right. All right, so let me go ahead and do another file save here, and then we'll get started with our upload. And there we go. All right, so season 30 in the books.
Baby, and Shiesty. Let's go. Go Sloss, baby.
Wow. Congratulations, Sarah.
She left.
Oh, she left. Okay, well, let's go ahead and take a minute here to talk about some of the other teams that did really well this season that weren't able to make it into the playoffs. While we have a few minutes, some of the other great teams so far this season, of course, the Toros. Toros, we expected our team to do really well. We led the Champions West for most of the season. It seemed like all the way up until the
Pretty
very
much
end
all
there.
season until the last day.
Until the last day, and then we got the bad news in that first round of the playoffs. That was unfortunate, but Toros played really well all season. I do think they have a good chance next season as well. I do think Seattle's going to come back strong again.
Absolutely.
I don't think that they really have that many players that are at the end of their contract that they haven't re-signed already. So Seattle's going to look strong. I think we might see Indy probably on the waning here a little bit. Teams like Nashville might be able to come in and make up some of that difference. Demons as well. But, over on the other side, let's talk about Vancouver for a second. Wow at Vancouver. Vancouver getting into the playoffs. I didn't think they were going to do it, but they were able to knock out Buffalo right there at the very end. And, at the start of that first series with San Antonio, they looked like they were going to take it all. They were up the first game. They had to lead the second game, and then it just kind of just completely turned the other way, and San Antonio, just ended up taking the rest of it there. But Vancouver, another great team. Any teams that you think we should be looking out here for season 31 coming up?
Oh man, I mean, I hate to speculate about anything because I mean, anything can change.
Right.
Just movement, free agent signings, trades, all that stuff. I mean, obviously, yeah, we're still going to see the Scorpions in the playoffs. I'm hoping we'll see, ourselves in the playoffs, the Toros. I would love to see the Rugers in the playoffs. I know they missed this last season, and that's just a product of being in a, I guess,
Ultra
better
tough division.
conference. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, they had 60 wins, them and Nashville. I mean, both really good teams that just missed out on the playoffs. So I'd like to get them back in. But yeah, like you said, the Vandals, that was insane. I was there to call that that crazy last end to the season.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's, I mean, broken hearts for the Surge. I mean, I'm sure we'll see the Surge make the playoffs next season. I know they have a good roster.
Right.
Just didn't have any sim luck for whatever reason. Yeah, other than that, that's, yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, the champions, we had 7 teams above 500 out of the 8. Teams with 60 wins the season still not able to get into the playoffs. I really do think that, unless things really change with the free agent market, at least for the next couple seasons, champions are probably going to be the one to at least watch the most exciting matches. There will be some exciting matches in Legends as well, but it's a lot more clearly defined who the better teams are. And the other ones that you figure probably not going to make it next season, but all the way down the line, just about in the champions, any single one of all those teams just about can get into the World Series. So very exciting to see how things turn out next playoffs. But again, let's go ahead and go over what we have here for our coming up this next week. It is draft week coming up. We do have, I believe, a rookie showcase game coming up. We do have the minors and the major league draft, and we also have our awards ceremonies. That will be all next week, and we should be able to find out, after, I think, I think the minors one is on Saturday, so we should be able to, within a week from today, know pretty much how most of the teams are going to shape up for next season. And hopefully some of these other teams can turn it around. We'll have to see. But taking a look at Discord here, let me see how things are looking over here in the main chat. If people are going crazy here, because that was quite a game. Wow.
Yeah, just no words. Like I don't know if I want to come back on another World Series stream after that.
Right.
Like as much as I enjoyed it, like I don't think anything can really top that series.
Come
That's
back with some
just
extra gray hairs and
yeah.
feeling a little older, not able to move as fast.
Just every game there was some. I mean, the 18-1 win by
Oh
Seattle.
God, that
Like
eight-run second inning, that was
yes,
that was crazy. The grand slam on top of the home run before it, man. Yeah, a lot of great clippable moments in this series. We just have to see how things go for next season. But it does look like our file is completely uploaded here. So let me go ahead and click on the link to activate the index. And it's down here at the bottom somewhere. There it is. And we'll just click on you. And waiting for it to unzip. There we go. Now we'll just check the index, make sure that is all updated.
Also, the sea serpents call me mom. Bye.
oh,
Okay.
okay,
Call your mom.
okay, okay. Then
Right?
uh,
Alright, so we're just sitting here refreshing, trying to get the page to update. Let me go in and take a look at the teams here, see if it'll do it this way. There we go. Alright, so it looks like that is done. We'll just see if that updates. And there we go. So everything is all updated. And we want to thank everybody again for joining us. It's been a great season. Congratulations to the California Firehawks who won the Minor League World Series earlier today. And congratulations as well to the San Antonio Sloss, your Major League World Series winners. Any last words, Bauer, before we go ahead and sign out for the night?
how much longer until opening day?
Right?
I want to get back to playing baseball already.
I know, right? So we got like 2.5 weeks. So not long. A little over half a month away. We hope everybody will come join us for another great season of the Pro Baseball Experience. But again, I want to thank everybody for joining us. I'm your host, Legally Blind Gamer. Joining me is Toro's co-GM Bauer. We want to thank you so much for joining us tonight. Let me see if there's anything, if we want to raid anybody, if there's any mods in here that want to do any raiding. I'm not sure if we want to do that, but we'll take a look here real quick. Let's see if there's anybody doing OOTP.
Bound to be somebody, right?
Right. And looks like let's try that one. Nope, it's just us. All right. So, is Steel or anybody else streaming right now that you know of?
Don't see anyone now.
Okay, so we're going to do this. We're just going to go ahead and sign out, everyone. We want to thank you so much again for joining us, Legally Blind Gamer, along with Bauer. We hope you have a great weekend. Congratulations again to the Firehawks and the Sloss, and we'll see you coming up in Season 31. Have a great night.